Would be the best thing, but I do not think he's going to be affected tonight by an extra 100 people in the stands. The run support has not been there for him, but he's not a young man who's going to be affected by anything. He's going to do the double pump. He's doing all his working out right now about an hour before he takes the mound to pitch, but he's a nice young man. He's back home. He thought he'd be starting in the big leagues with his hometown Houston Astros. That is not the case, but fortunately for the A's, they picked him up in a trade last year.
The hitting star last night for the A's was Yonder Alonso. A couple of big two-out RBI hits. Boy, he's been tough on the Astros, not just this year, but in his career.
Well, you go back to even the beginning of this season, we talked about the Pat Neshek walk-off. That was a home run, his first of the season, big one at the Coliseum. He handled the post-game interviews so well with everything that was showered on him, but he had the walk-off, and he's continued that as he did last night. He had a two-out double to left center field. That would give the A's a 2-1 lead at the time. That's all they would need, but he came up with a line drive in the ninth inning. How about this shot? Hardly made the infield dirt, but he beat it out, brought in another run. The A's picked up the extra run because of that man, Josh Reddick, who hustled to first base. 3-1, the A's won. But Yonder Alonso play against the Astros all the time.
All right, Migden starts for the A's, and Colin McHugh will start for the Astros. McHugh looking for his 6th win of the year, and he always seemed to pitch well against the Athletics. So keep it right here on CSN California. Up next, we will go back to the A's pregame live studios and then back to the ballpark for lineups and first pitch.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Starting pitcher tonight for the Astros, Colin McHugh. Wearing the orange tops tonight are the Astros as we get set for Game 2 of this series. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. Admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Another hot one outside here in Houston. 93 degrees. Hot and humid. The roof closed here at Minute Maid Park. Very comfortable place to do a ball game when the roof is closed. So the A's, a good ball game last night. Good all around. Good pitching. Couple of clutch hits. And when it was all said and done, it was a 3-1 A's victory. And let's look at the lineup tonight for the Athletics. A few changes. Jed Lowry's going to lead off and play second base. Chris Davis will hit second. Josh Reddick third. Danny Valencia is the cleanup hitter. Stephen Vogt will catch. Billy Butler's the DH tonight. And then it's the red-hot Yonder Alonso, Marcus Semien, and Billy Burns.
And it will be the right-hander Colin McHugh on the mound for the Astros. Second start that he's made against the A's this year. The one that he started had a chance to pick up the win. But thanks to Jed Lowry, who's leading off against him, hit a home run off of Luke Gregerson. 18th start for the right-hander, and you look at his numbers, which I'm sure our guys would show. He's pretty much straight across the board with the number of pitches that he throws, average number of times he throws them. So we shall see the assortment that he throws tonight, which is all of them.
Astros defense has Marisnik in left, Gomez in center, Springer in right. Valbuena's at third, Correa at short, Marwin Gonzalez at second, A.J. Reed at first. Castro is the catcher. Jose Altuve is going to DH tonight, so he will not be playing second base. We are set for baseball from Minute Maid Park on a Friday night. As Colin McHugh stares in for his first sign, kicks and fires, and the first pitch is the ball to Jed Lowry. Umpires tonight. That is the crew chief Bill Walke calling balls and strikes. Kerwin Danley, Vic Carapazza, and D.J. Rayburn. And a quick 2-0.
Hugh has one of the better curveballs in baseball. And I'm sure we'll be throwing many times tonight, along with a fastball, cutter, slider, changeup.
Just foul. So the count 2-1 to Lowry.
Jed talking about, and actually we were talking last night about Jed Lowry living in Houston, staying here during the All-Star break. Well, tonight's starting pitcher Daniel Ming will also be spending the All-Star break here, as he grew up in Houston, lives here. So a couple of players, and of course they'll get back on Thursday night for the Friday game after the break. Work out in the afternoon and the game that night.
A broken bat, base hit through the shift, and McHugh had a leap out of the way of the bat head. So Lowry has a base hit.
Cap, you remember back in the early part of the season in Seattle, Jed Lowry with the shift just like this twice with runners in scoring position. Drove them home. That's a routine ground ball to short. And I don't know if McHugh was going to field the bat or not, but fortunately got out of the way, because that part of the bat went right at him. Hard to find the ball, which ended up in left field.
So a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Chris Davis. Chris Davis was 1 for 4 last night. He scored a run. The A's only had 4 hits last night. But they made him count. And the pitching was very good.
Well, that's kind of like a pitcher will say, hey guys, I only need a couple tonight. And they got him a couple, and Riccio took advantage of it, and bullpen did a great job. Picked up another run in the 9th inning. All in all, a very well played game. You'd like to see a lot of those games. Pitching and defense, just enough runs to win a ball game.
Reddick to follow here in the top of the first. Foul straight back. Good swing. So Coco Crisp was suspended for tonight's game. Last night he tossed the bat in the direction of home plate umpire DJ Rayburn. He was immediately thrown out of the game and learned today that he was suspended for a game.
And serving tonight, so we hope he enjoys the game back at the hotel. He could work out, do everything on the field, but had to leave the park.
And to Coco's credit, I mean, he could have appealed it, but he said, you know what? I'm not going to appeal it. I'm going to serve it. I got what I deserved. I should have thrown the bat in, and he was very forthright in saying, hey, I made a mistake. I'm going to apologize to the umpire, which I'm sure he will, or maybe he already has. I thought Coco handled it the right way.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know, really, as he swung at this one, and basically I thought his reaction was that was supposed to be saying, here's the bat, you try to hit that pitch.
And that's what he said.
That's what he said. And as he looked at the replay, he said the bat went a little bit closer to the umpire than he thought, and he walked because he knew he deserved to be ejected. And is he younger than Coco? These guys look young, don't they? Or is it me?
No, he does look young. Here's Reddick.
But I thought it was great because the second strike was about the, well, it wasn't in dirt, it was very low, and he basically was saying, here's the bat, try to hit it, and just went too far. Maybe the pine tar stuck a little bit too much on the bat, on his hand.
Here's Reddick hitting .296 with 5 home runs, 19 RBI. Shift down for Reddick, and he takes a stride outside corner, 1-1. So the A's will be without Coco Crisp tonight.
Well, here comes his pat the curveball. See what kind of spin rate it has as he throws it to Reddick.
Good one. He does have a good one. It's got a big break to it.
I thought it was interesting that the Astros actually said, hey, we like the spin rate on his curveball. Let's pick him up. And he's pitched very well for the Astros. And I guess if they can count the rotation of the baseball and the spin and how many times it rotates before it gets to the plate. But his is good. Comes back with it.
.32% fastballs, 31% cutters, and there's the curveball at 28%. One of the higher percentage of cutters, and seems like 28% is high for a curveball.
Probably the lowest percentage of true fastballs of anybody that we've seen. But if he keeps throwing the fastball outside, although Gomez Marisnik shading him towards left field, and the right field line, he hangs a curveball and Reddick pulls it down the line. It would take, look at Springer. He's in right center. They are definitely playing him to hit the ball in the outfield the opposite way. Springer in right center, almost near the Astros bullpen.
And that one's hit hard off the glove and then flipped to second. And we're going to get the out there of Alboina, the third baseman. He got a glove on it and it rolled away. You see the shift on Correa covering second base. So it's a fielder's choice for Reddick.
Well, with the shift, it has to be Correa, the shortstop. It's rare that you get a 5-6 put out, but that's what it was because of the shift. And second baseman is not Altuve tonight. It's Gonzalez, who is all over the place. But that's what happened really in Kansas City last year when Brett Laurie went into Escobar very hard because he had to cover Moustakas. That was before this new rule at second base was instituted in baseball. You have to slide it back.
Valencia swings and misses. Well, that new rule came into play last night in a game in the National League between the Washington Nationals. I think who the Nationals were playing. And the Mets.
The Mets this weekend.
The game ended on, called the guy out at second base for what they said was an illegal slide.
This is back on the Saturday game, June 4th. He got a hanging curveball, and it was a no-doubter. Banged up against the back wall, and number 9 for Danny Valencia. Things look good for the A's, and especially when Lowry tied it in the 9th inning, but lost in extra innings. front door cutting. It's a Mariano Rivera special right there.
So 86 miles an hour. That's your cutter speed, give or take.
Mariano Rivera, of course, retired, first ballot Hall of Famer. One of the best. He threw cutters all the time to righties and lefties, but he was one of the first to establish the front door cut fastball.
There it is again. This one just a little bit outside. 3-2 count, so Lowry will make that. Reddick will be on the move. E.J. Reed is going to hold him on. And this one is popped up. Coming down the third base line is Valbuena near the mound. Valbuena grabs it. Side retired. So Lowry, a leadoff single, nothing else, and it's time to go to work for Daniel Migden, and he's going to do it in his hometown of Houston, Texas. The Houston Astros, and their lineup looks like this tonight. Be George Springer in the leadoff spot, then Marwin Gonzalez at second, Jose Altuve is the DH, Correa's the shortstop and he's the cleanup hitter, then Valbuena, Gomez, Reed, Marisnick, and Castro.
And the story of the night, Daniel Migden, number 67, making his first start against the team that traded him to the Athletics. He's making his sixth start. 1-4 with a handlebar mustache turned up. Nice clean shaven otherwise. And for Daniel, with family and friends, it should be a special night for him. And as he said that he just enjoyed it, but I don't think it's going to affect him.
But it has to be special.
Oh, especially.
I mean,
yes.
you just think about all the consequences and who he's pitching against. Migden rocks and fires to Springer, and the first pitch is in for a strike zone. So, born and lives in Houston, Texas. Went to Texas A&M, College Station. 95 miles away. College Station from Houston.
That changeup. Nice little sinking changeup. You know, watching his warm-up, Kite, you know, we talk about his double pump. He even does a double pump in his warm-ups.
Sure.
So he gets ready to go even as he is throwing his 8 warm-up pitches. So last night with Springer hitting a leadoff triple, scored on a ground out, and that's the only run scored by the Astros as the East pitching was outstanding.
The 2 pitch is tapped solely toward Lowry, who charges on the first one out. The A's defense has Davis in left, Burns in center, Reddick in right, Valencia at third, Simeon at short, Lowry at second, Alonso at first, and Stephen Vogt is the catcher. So 1 out, and here's Marwin Gonzalez. So Migden was the 4th round pick of the Astros in 2014. That's why it is really quite a night for Migden. pitching against the team he cheered for, was drafted by, and then traded. And here he is facing them in front of lots and lots of family and friends. So he probably will never have a night like tonight.
No.
You add everything up. So let's hope he does well.
Absolutely.
Shallow left, Simeon out, Davis in. It'll be Chris Davis who waits. And that's the second out. We like to keep an eye on friends and family, and Migden has a whole bunch of them here. And they're into it. And there they are. See, the gentleman with the striped shirt listening on the radio, that is his father. And Mom and Dad are proud.
His mother just said,
nervous.
That's my baby. That's great, though. What a thrill. It's always a thrill. The parents watching, we have experienced quite a bit of that this year with the young pitchers, especially the young pitchers coming up and making their debuts.
Altuve had a good swing. I just think it's very cool to show the mom and dad, and you just wonder what's going on in their mind. Their hearts are probably pumping.
Probably more than Daniel's.
Yep.
We're listening to what Robert and Sparky, how they're talking nicely about it. Well, it's been a good story, and really with all the injuries the A's pitchers have had throughout the season, guys on the disabled list out for the season, Tommy John, and it's given a lot of pitchers opportunities to come up and do what Daniel Mingden's doing tonight.
Making his 6th big league start. And at no point in any of the first 5 starts has he looked overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Pretty good pitch there, but a little low. So 3-1 to Altuve. Comes right at him with fastball. It's got just a little sink to it. Good velocity. In his first 5 starts, 31 strikeouts for Migden. Only Tim Hudson had more in his first 5 games of his career. That's in A's history. Fastball fouled straight back.
Altuve does not want to walk. I mean, he'll take it if it's so far out of the strike zone, but that pitch clearly, really at his eyes, still swung. He's looking fastball, figured he's going to get it, and probably would like to pad his numbers before he goes to San Diego. Asked Bill Brown about him DH, and he said, well, he's played every game. Probably give him a day off either tomorrow or Sunday.
Shoots that one foul into the second level.
So someplace Cal Ripken is thinking he's played 170 some odd straight games, and what's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
Yeah. 2,632. This is the 178th for him. Longest active in the majors.
Hit hard. Simeon stays down on it. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Daniel Migden. Nicely done in the bottom of the first. No score after 1. Ace Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by AAA. Get a free Ace cap with a new AAA membership. Visit a participating AAA branch by August 30th. Restrictions apply. Top of the second from Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston. No score. So it'll be Vogt, Butler, and Alonso against Colin McHugh, who gave up a leadoff single to Lowry in the first, but that was it. .266 for Vogt, 6 homers and 24 runs batted in. Setting up plans for the All-Star game for Stephen Vogt. I'm sure his family will be with him.
Said he's got 28 tickets. He's got to leave. He's got family trying to get accommodations, and he said when you're only 5 hours away from your hometown, that makes it very convenient.
28, that's a lot.
Yeah. Ball hit the dirt. That's right. But I think he said it best with his brothers. He has his curveball in the dirt. It was backhanded by Castro, and Stephen Vogt pointed out as Milwaukee looked at him. He caught the ball, and then very quickly Stephen Vogt pointed to the ground and confirmed by Milwaukee. But his brother, I guess, was going to rent a place for his family and come out from Colorado to see Stephen and his family and have a nice little vacation or break. That's great. He said, change your plans, just head south now instead of coming straight across.
Get a place in San Diego.
Yeah. But that's nice. You know, for him to, as he said, make my debut at 27, you know, I'm thinking I'm out of baseball, and here I'm a 2-time All-Star. I mean, he's as thrilled as anybody. And we're very thrilled for him.
Another breaking ball takes this one. Vogt was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks last night. One of them was intentional.
As we talked, his at bat in the second inning that helped load the bases, a 3-1 fastball from Pfister outside. All he was going to do is roll over and hit a ground ball double play. Instead, walk to load the bases.
Hooks that one toward left. Marisnick on the move. Marisnick makes the catch. Well, the final vote is in for the final 2 spots in the All-Star game. And from the National League, the Giants' Brandon Belt was voted in. So the Giants will send 4 players to the All-Star game. And in the American League, Michael Saunders, who is having a very fine season for the Blue Jays, he won for the American League. George Springer got edged out. So I'm sure he's probably a little bit disappointed, but he'll make an All-Star game or two before his career is over.
I think Correa said the same thing, you know, that as young as he is, and many people thought he should have been one of the All-Stars, but he said, hey, young, get a lot of opportunities, and he will. He'll be an All-Star for many years, although there are a lot of great shortstops in Major League Baseball and American League now. How about Story hitting 2 more? The Rockies.
Yeah, he did not make it. He was one of those final vote guys.
At 21. Plays in Colorado now.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't make it. Giant shortstop Brandon Crawford didn't make it. He's having a very fine season. So there's some good there's a lot of good shortstops all around baseball.
And there's still some time left between now and Sunday that maybe there will be some guys that have to bow out. I can't wait for the home run derbies here. Good friend Bartolo Colon, who was named for Bumgarner. I guess Madison's pitching Sunday.
So Bartolo Colon is an all-star.
Home run derby.
Well, maybe with, as Butler walks, maybe with some of the guys not playing, maybe there'll be some more replacements. Who knows? Maybe Marcus Semien or Ryan Dull.
Yeah.
They still have a chance.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I don't know, Cap, I haven't seen it about Wade Davis. Have they replaced him yet?
No, they have
not.
not.
And that's, I mean, he's on the DL. He's not going to be eligible. And that's, I don't know if that would be, are those usually manager choices if somebody's not can't play? I want to say.
I think the replacements for injured guys, yeah, I think they are.
Now, if it's a lineup, it has to be.
It's just, yeah, if it's part of the starting lineup, it's just the next vote getter.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So Alonso goes down quickly on that foul ball.
Well, you got the cutter and the curveball. So what happens? It's a back foot, similar to what happened last night with Marcus Semien when he hit his back right leg. Check the right foot or the left foot. It got him on the back foot. So the breaking ball going to the back foot, and he hit it, and it went straight down.
Well, that one got him square on the end of the foot.
And he's got the pad on his right foot, because normally a sinker or a pitch inside, you'll hit it on that foot, not the unprotected one on the back foot. So the shin guard over the top of the right foot, which is his front foot.
He's not doing good, right?
No, he's not. Well, you just try to get feeling back in your foot. I mean, that said something funny. Bob Hellman's laughing. Ask Marcus Semien about his leg where he hit it off his right quad last night. And he said, no, I'm okay. I'll play. I said, what about running to first? He said, well, I probably could have had an infield hit. So as we talked about, whenever it happened and he hit a ball on the infield in the hole, it was just barely thrown out. Well, take a look at the left foot. The back foot for Alonso, as the breaking ball comes in, it goes straight down. That is rare to have a ball hit that far back on a hitter. Usually you're going to hit out in front of the pitch and hit off the front foot.
So 0-1 to Alonso. Curve drops in first strike. Alonso hitting .249, 3 homers, 24 RBIs. As we talked about in the open of our show, his success against the Astros. 12 for 26 this year. He's a career .452 hitter in this ballpark. Not that time. Good breaking ball by McHugh, and he gets his second strikeout.
Well, back-to-back curveballs, and I don't know if this was planned because he hit the ball on his back foot, and watching Alonso walk back to the dugout, you have to wonder how much he's going to stay in the game, how long he is.
That's the strikeouts on curveballs. And he's the kind of guy where if he's got a good feel for it, and he usually does, he will throw it a lot.
A la Rich Hill.
Yep.
I mean, you think about Rich last night, his curveball wasn't to his liking, so he used more.
That one's hit towards center, hit pretty well, but room for Carlos Gomez. Gomez waits, and that's the third out. So a runner left for the A's, bottom of the second coming up, no score. A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by First 95 California. Talk, read, sing. It changes everything. So the windup of Daniel Migden. Looks like a changeup to me.
Well, amazing thing watching that was pretty impressive. The fact that he does all the windup, doesn't pick up his target until he's ready to throw, which is good because maybe as he starts his windup, he sees the target, and then he takes his eye off the target, winds up, picks it up right as he's ready to throw.
Good pitch there, and it's 0-2 to the cleanup hitter Carlos Correa.
Pat, this is his 6th start, which means he's seeing teams for the first time. They're seeing him, but I would have to think one time through the batting order, unless you're down in the bottom where you kind of get an idea of his wind up and double pump. It almost takes getting accustomed to what he is doing when he winds up, which he can change. He can go 1, which is right there. Then he goes to the side to go 2, and sometimes we'll go 3.
Correa at 262 with 13 home runs and 52 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. The A's were able to keep Correa and Altuve quiet last night. If you do that, you get a decent shot against the Astros. Broken bat. Valencia charges. Quick throw across, and that's the first down. Well, what did Daniel Migden look like in high school? There he is, wearing number 15. Went to Westside High School here in Houston. And then in the group photo, you see him on the far right wearing the number 15. So that is Daniel Migden in high school, not that long ago.
So he's in a 4-man rotation, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Those were the 4 starters. So from there to Texas A&M to Astros minor league system, and now the big leagues with the Athletics. Pretty good story. Yeah. And what we've said too, Ray, he has not pitched a lot in professional baseball. I mean, the 2014 draft.
Right.
So just a couple of years in the minor leagues.
Well, the same as Matt Chapman, the A's 3rd baseman in the minor leagues. He was drafted in the 14 season. Might see him up here sooner than later. I think the Astros story has been a good one over the past years, where they have lost 100 games. They've played poorly, but they've gotten some good draft choices, some that they've drafted, signed, and traded. Pretty good story here in Houston. We saw Jeff Luhnow last night, the general manager, and it's great for them to be in the buying stage at the trading deadline versus selling or just trying to get through a season, let some of the young players develop.
Tap foul. Remember, Ray, in 2013, and that was the Astros' first year in the American League. Their payroll was $26 million. Remember that? They just cleared everybody out.
That's right.
$26 million. This year, it's $94 million, and it's 21st out of 30 teams. So they have started winning. Payroll has gone up. It's gone from 26 to 44 to 69 to 94 million. And it'll continue to go up.
Second year for A.J. Hinch, second tour as a manager. Remember, they signed Scott Feldman to a 3-year deal, gave him some pretty good money, so they're willing to go out and sign some players, give them big contracts, good money, which is increase their payroll. But they have a lot of homegrown products, and they've got some guys they're going to have to pony up some money pretty soon.
Well, that's what's interesting too when you look toward next year. Valbuena, 1 around, and that's a strikeout. Migden gets his first strikeout. Valbuena doesn't agree.
Well, he wants to go to third base, but once Milwaukee called the swing, as we have said, there's no appeal to third or first. Valbuena upset. He saw the curveball, tried to hold up, but as he went enough, according to Milwaukee, looking right at him, he pointed it. Let's see what you think as it came through. See, a lot of body came through. We talked about it last night where, I can't remember, was it Correa or Springer had a big swing but did not follow through, and it was called a ball because on the appeal he did not go through it. Maybe Valbuena didn't there, but he could strike out anyway.
So with 2 outs, here's Carlos Gomez. Gomez 0 for 4 last night. But getting back to the Astros, their free agents after this year are Rasmus, Gomez, Feldman, Pfister, Valbuena, and Castro. Their money adds up to $50 million.
Wow.
So you got $50 million coming off the books.
Yeah.
They may be able to do a little something with that. So the Astros in pretty good shape as they look toward the future. Daniel Migden, good so far. No score after 2.
Back on Sunday, July the 17th, when the A's take on the Toronto Blue Jays, make a fashion statement with the unmistakable green and gold tiger stripe Zubaz pattern. Special ticket includes a Zubaz performance t-shirt and game ticket. Go to athletics.com/Zubaz to purchase tickets today. Just thinking of Pat Neshek. You know, he's somebody out of Minnesota. And all the A's players had him. But I don't know about the green and gold. That'd be pretty special. And you said you take them on the road?
Oh, everywhere. Do a game in those babies.
Oh, please. It would be comfortable.
Let's go right home and sleep in them then.
Manny Ramirez used to do that with his baseball uniform. It was so bloused out so much.
He did a lot of things.
That's true.
Billy Burns gets jammed, grounds it towards second. Gonzalez scoops it up. Burns is retired. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. And here's Lowry. A's with a 37-49 record after their win last night. They're 3-4 against the Astros this year.
It's not quite like Fenway Park,
No,
but it's still the out-of-town scoreboard. Guys peeking. Probably it doesn't have the rodents out there that they have at Fenway.
No, newer ballpark.
Yeah.
It is all manually operated, all the games. They're a little. The only problem with Fenway, as far as the out-of-town scoreboard, is they tend to fall behind a little bit. So it's a tough scoreboard to look at because you're not sure how updated it is. Here, I mean, they're going to update it when somebody scores in an inning.
Well, if Fenway isn't partially, you have to actually come out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them they can get to.
Right.
Other ones they have to come out onto the field
That's
in between
the
innings.
ones on the field between innings. Those are the ones that are usually delayed.
But in nicely, and that's going to be a base hit for Lowry. Once it got past the pitcher, it was going to be a hit. So Lowry has a broken bat single and a bunt single. And he's 2 for 2.
How about Adams' note? 7 broken bats in this game, in this series so far. What a note by Adam. Our stat man is sitting next to you. So a lot of lumber to use for kindling during the offseason. And I don't know if you need any fires right now, but that's a great bunt by Jed Lowry. And with the shift, why not? He's got the base hit. They keep shifting him and vacating the left side of the infield.
And now Chris Davis will hit. I think that was a perfect example of if you're bunting and there's a shift against you, you don't have to make a perfect bunt. That's all you have to do is make sure you don't bunt it back to the pitcher.
Yeah, you can actually square around and push the bunt like a sacrifice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Off the end of the bat, Davis behind in the count 0-2. He checks the end of his bat. Davis tied for 9th in the league in home runs with his 19. Gonzalez, the second baseman, shifted quite a ways over. He's not on the left side of second base, but he's close.
One thing McHugh is doing is you take a look at the total pitches, 47 through the first 2+ innings, 2 1/3, so a lot of pitches for the right-hander. And he's not overpowering with any of his pitches to be able to try to throw the ball by somebody. So as Jason Castro sets up for a cutter right now, he's just trying to hit the corners, eliminate the middle part of the plate.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Looked like a high cutter.
Yep.
So 2 outs. Last year, Colin McHugh was a 19-game winner. He was 19-7. This year, just 5-6. And last year, he went over 200 innings, struck out 171. So Keuchel, a 20-game winner last year. Colin McHugh, a 19-game winner. Have not had quite the same amount of success this year, but
Pfister was better coming into last night. The A's beating him. McHugh better in his last 4. Keuchel, who the A's will see on Sunday, is pitching a lot better. All this in a period of time in which the Astros have started to play better baseball. And you get good pitching with their aggressive hitters, then not surprised they're playing as well as they are.
0-2 to Reddick. Little pop up toward Correa behind second base. He's got it. Side retired. Hitting runner left. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Reed, Marisnick, and Castro for the Astros.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to add that premium. The #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Oh, there's the general. Just see him stand in front of the
General admission.
That might be the best line. No, he's in front of
I wish that General admission was here. I don't know what happened to him.
Now the gentleman was standing in front of the gas pump out there.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's here every game as well. He is not general admission.
No.
This is big A.J. Reed, who pinch hit last night and struck out. Reed made his major league debut on the 25th of June. If you were starting a football team and you had A.J. Reed and Evan Gattis, you'd have a good start.
See if he has the green light. 3-0.
Man, he's just a bit inside. Lead off left. So if Daniel Migden just kept growing his mustache out, just kept going, that's what it would look like.
Looks like a steer, doesn't it?
That gentleman is here every game.
Every game. Usually he's sitting out there in general admission, but he's got a front row seat tonight, though. So in a few years, we'll see Daniel Migden when he comes back to Houston with that big old handlebar mustache.
Now, I wonder if the gentleman waxes it at all.
That's a good point. Maybe just natural.
First pitch strike to Jake Marisnick. So in the stretch for the first time is Migden.
Well, with all the talk about Migden and Raleigh Fingers, have to get Raleigh to the Coliseum in a game that he pitches and put him back in the diamond level right behind home plate. That way you look at it.
Marisnick hitting just 179 with a homer and 7 RBI. Very good defenders, Marisnick. Colby Rasmus out of the lineup again tonight. And we're told that he's got a little inner ear infection. And that hit Marisnick. Trying to come inside. So a walk and a hit batter, and the Astros got something going.
Well, it did not get him solidly because Marisnick maybe just enough on the uniform as he bounced back. See if the uniform's bloused just enough. It got him right above the belt buckle. Probably didn't even feel it, except it sounded like it as that bird just went in Exmo over near Mike Aldretti in the A's dugout. Just see a bird fly.
I did. Is he still there? So now Castro will step in.
Never seen a bird fly in Exmo, but we just did.
Brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Castro takes a strike. .212 for Castro with 6 home runs, 21 RBIs. But it sounds like Colby Rasmus a little inner ear infection, and that can be uncomfortable.
Yes, and
for him to miss, especially tonight. Last night there was a left-hander throw, and he may not have been in the lineup.
He struck out like 5 times the other night in the one game, so he's having a tough time. Maybe with that inner ear infection affect him enough that couldn't make solid contact. We're talking about the payroll. As this fastball and a check swing up at Evan Castro over towards the A's dugout. But Rasmus was the first player to take the qualifying offer.
Yep.
And then several after that did it, but he was the first, and that was a big chunk of change, so why not for 1 year?
$15.8 million, and he is the Astros' highest paid player.
Supposed to go over 17 after the 2016 season. Ooh.
Good curve, strike 3 call. Castro knew it.
Amazing thing, Castro calls that pitch with McHugh, and he just got one 0-2. And a big out because first and second, no attempt to bunt, no movement of the batters or the runners on base. And Uncle Charlie right over the top, 12-6 curveball, and an outstanding pitch And really for tonight, that's the 9th batter. That might have been the first 12-6 curveball he's thrown. And a left-hander, perfect time to throw it. Did get Valbuena, but that was more of a hanging curveball and a check swing. That called by Milwaukee, but curveball also, but not as good as the one to Castro.
First pitch to Springer, outside corner strike. Springer grounded out to second in the first inning. Springer had that triple last night leading off the bottom of the first, and he scored the only run for the Astros.
Fourth fastball last night that Springer got from Rich Hill, and saw the target being held by Stephen Vogt. Coco got the incline on Towles Hill, and that might have messed him up just enough for Springer to get all the way to third. He would score, but as we mentioned, that was the only run the Astros scored in the game. Rich Hill in the bullpen, a great job for 9 innings.
Oh, 2 pitch, threw it right by him with a fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Migden.
Well, the location target inside by Stephen Vogt, but got a little bit extra on the fastball. And really, there's your 2-strike swing count right there. That's what we talk about.
You should not do that with 2 strikes,
No.
not with a runner in scoring position.
No, I mean, it just changes everything, and really it helps the pitcher when you see that, because you don't shorten your swing. And contact, especially with his speed, is a tough guy to double up.
And if you look at the location of the pitch, it's really, I mean, there's movement and velocity, but it's a pitch you certainly could and should hit. Right? It's not 98 miles an hour.
It's 91. 91, and he overthrew it center cut. So.
And Springer's a good player, and I think he's gotten a lot better. But it always puzzles me when you see a guy take a swing like that with 2 strikes and a runner in scoring position.
Especially with the speed, and that's something that, you know, it's one thing if there's a possibility of doubling up, but still, and when you swing that hard, what happens to your head? It flies open. You know, it's really tough to keep your eye on the ball. And really, it's not something that abnormal. You see a lot of guys in baseball now that will swing hard all the time, and as a result, home runs are up, strikeouts are down, or home runs are up, so are strikeouts.
Yeah, home runs are back up this year by quite a bit.
Circle change grip, index finger and thumb forming the circle, and the 3 fingers around the baseball. A lot of time to change grips as he goes into a stretch.
And now 1-2 to Gonzalez. Reed at second. Marisnick is the runner at first.
On another good 12-6 curveball, and down where Gonzalez looks good and then disappears, to the point that Stephen Vogt had to backhand it with the ball in the dirt. McBride caught Mengden in his last start. That was Sunday at the Coliseum against Pittsburgh. Vogt, this is his 4th start of the 6. Finally another start against with Mengden.
Good fastball, and he threw it by Gonzalez. And 3 straight strikeouts with a couple of runners on for Daniel Migden. Very nicely done by the young right-hander. So the Astros do not score. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Danny Valencia in his career against the Astros. Overall, a .387 hitter with 7 home runs. Here in this ballpark, .392 hitter. And we saw it earlier this year. But Valencia, tough on the Astros. So .392 hitter, 5 home runs in this ballpark in a total of 15 games. And on cue, drops one into right field for a base hit.
Well, they did that Monday in Minneapolis on 4th of July. Off Nolasco, a high fastball away, and the more Danny Valencia hits the ball to right field, the better he is and the club is. That's a high cutter that he went well to the right side. Of course, he had a huge on the right side, but over everybody. With a good start, with the ball going to the opposite field.
So now Stephen Vogt steps up. 3 hits off Colin McHugh. There's the curve for a strike. Danny Valencia, direction of hits, 18 hits to right field, 24 up the middle. He does a pretty good job of being able to hit the ball to all parts of the ballpark with good power the other way. Vogt with a good idea.
That's a great idea. If he gets it down, it's a base hit. Worst case, it's a sacrifice. Just happened to be a high cutter, then spun a little bit too rapidly.
Vogt hit a fly ball to left field down the line in the 2nd inning. That one is belted right center field. Nobody's going to get it. It bounces off the wall, and Valencia rounding third, and Valencia's going to score, and Vogt's got a triple, and the A's have a 1-0 lead. A booming triple for Stephen Vogt.
Yep, we have talked about the extension. Stephen Vogt, when he starts his swing and how he finishes, it's unbelievable. Don't sleep on the speed, because that's a triple and triples alley here at Minute Maid. But watch right here. There, right there. But that pitch is down that Castro went down to block it. Stephen Vogt went down to get the curveball that he took for strike 1. And a ball that fortunately the ball stayed in the park, hit off the sign, and stayed in the park, allowing Valencia to score and for Vogt to get the triple. And a big swing by Stephen Vogt on the 0-2 pitch.
Second triple of the year for Vogt, and he gets his 25th RBI. So the Astros bring the infield in. And that one's a base hit into left field. Vogt will trot home, and the A's have a 2-0 lead. So Billy Butler bring that infield in and increases everybody's average, and Butler hit it hard enough to get it through.
Okay, I'm just going to say that the only time Billy Butler wants to hit a ball on the ground that well is with the infield in, because it does not give them much of an opportunity to react. They're in, and the ball in the hole, and no chance for the third baseman Valbuena. But if they're back, it's a whole different story. So Billy Butler taking advantage of the infield in, increasing the percentages of getting the hit. Stephen Vogt with a ribby and a run scored. 3 hits to start this inning.
Swing by Alonso, got a piece of it. Alonso struck out in the 2nd inning. Colin McHugh has given up 2 runs or less in each of his last 4 starts. He's given up 2 here in the 4th.
Stephen Vogt with a triple. Let's just watch the speed. Nice turn at first base. He knows it's going to split. He said, I got the triple. I don't have to look. I got it on my own. Oh, that a thing of beauty.
Grounded to second, shoveled to short for 1, on to first, and that's a double play. So Gonzalez to Correa, on to Reed. It's a 4-6-3 double play.
Well, watch Correa. You talk about a young man who has a strong arm. Watch this throw. Right over the top. He knows he gets a little bit extra on it, and he does. Right over the top, and that's probably what happened last night when Reddick actually hustled down the line, and that strong arm ended up missing the first baseman, and he's, with the hustle of Reddick, able to start an inning in which they scored a run.
Simeon takes a strike. Simeon, a fly ball to center field in the second inning. Game number 87 for the A's. Start number 87 for Marcus Semien. He did say the shoulder's a little bit sore, but does not want to come out of the lineup.
How about this throw? Just clears himself, and that's a very strong arm and accurate. But you're right, Cap. He wants to play, and you know what happened last night when he fouled the ball off his right quad. This is a right-handed hitter, and I said, "You're lucky you're not a catcher," because he put down the catcher position. He said, "Yeah, that hurts." And I said, "Yeah, that's why catchers don't like to get hit in the legs and have to squat behind the plate, especially anything close to the quads or the knees."
Well, if you're this close and you're playing every day, and the All-Star break's a couple days away, and you know you have a little time off, I like the fact that he really takes pride in the fact that he plays every day.
Absolutely.
Talk about a low-maintenance player for a manager. That one is belted. Left center field. That is deep, and that baby is gone.
Yeah, top of the elbow. Yeah.
It hit just to the correct side of the yellow line, and Simeon has a home run, and the A's have a 3-0 lead. There's a yellow line that runs up and down, and if it hits to the right of it, it's a home run. If it hits to the left, well, then it's just off the wall, and you can see it hit just to the right of the yellow line.
Great call. Fastball inside, and you're right. Check the line in left center. Brought the hands in perfectly, and see the line in left center, and watch the flight of the baseball just above the line.
Just
that's
barely.
a great shot. Above it, just enough. 19 home runs for Marcus Semien, 11 with 2 strikes. And another 2-strike hit, 2-out hit, and 3 runs for Daniel Mengden. We saw and showed the numbers when he hits. He gets runs for him. He pitches well. He picks up wins. Let's hope tonight the A's can keep adding on.
Burns hits a pop-up into foul territory, goes Luis Valbuena, and that's the 3rd out. A's do damage. They get 3 runs on 4 hits. They had 2 singles, a triple, and then the Marcus Semien home run, his 19th of the year. So the A's lead 3-0 after 3.5. By McDonald's, June 25th in Kansas City. Jose Altuve, he stumbled. That cost him the chance for this cycle. Oh man, he went 4 for 5, home run, 2 doubles, and then Check this out. 6th inning, going for the triple, right? This is the single. So here it is. All right, he needs a triple. That's it.
That's it.
Triple.
Go. He's going for it. He's going.
Oh. he was motoring too.
He knew he needed a triple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
Brandon
he
Barnes.
did not get the cycle. Brandon Barnes.
I think the Angels played the Astros right after that. And Mike tried to do the same thing, and he said to Altuve, "Well, since you did it, I thought I'd do it too."
Yeah. 2 starters in the All-Star
That's
game.
right.
Altuve grounded out to short in the 1st inning. Astros do not have a hit off Migden just yet. Last inning, a walk and a hit batter is how the inning started for the Astros, and then Migden struck out Castro, Springer, and Gonzalez. So he'll try to grab a shutdown inning here. Broken bat, and that will be the first hit. So hit number 118 on the year for Jose Altuve. That's the most in the major leagues.
Well, it was a broken bat, according to Adam, the 8th broken bat in this series. But for Jose Altuve, the big swing and grounded out sharply to short in his first at bat. But for Migden to do what he did last inning, he walked Reed, he hit Marisnick, and then struck out the side. So you figure at the bottom of the batting order, you put a couple of guys on base, it's got to be a tough inning, but he handled it quite well.
First pitch sinks low to Carlos Correa. Correa grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd inning. So he is 0 for 4 in the series. Correa leads the Astros with the 52 RBIs. Springer's got 51. Altuve's got 49. And that one's hit deep. And that's trouble. And that is gone. Just like that, it's 3-2.
Fastball. Mislocation. No doubter. Ball ran right into his wheelhouse, and Carlos Correa, number 14, a non-all-star, but a ball that was crushed. And a no doubter.
Here's Valbuena. Well, it's hard not to see the comparison of a young Alex Rodriguez.
Absolutely.
Banged off that overhang. Oh, 2 to Luis Valbuena. Astros 6th in the American League in home runs hit as a team. That was number 111. Last year they hit 230 home runs as a team, 2nd most. So they may not get to that number this year. The 2 pitches low. So the first 2 hits of the game against Migden is a single and a home run, or a single and a home run.
And he's probably more upset about not getting a shutdown inning after his club just scored him 3, something that it's rare for him to get a lot of run support.
And he gets the strikeout of Valbuena, strikeout number 5.
Well, a good bounce back and a good fastball to Valbuena, who struck out on a check swing curveball. This fastball elevated. And I'd have to think the double pump, and maybe as a hitter, does he do 1? Does he do 2? Sometimes he'll do 3. And it's got to affect maybe the timing for a hitter. So if he can do enough to upset the timing, then that's good.
Carlos Gomez swings through that one.
I just felt a breeze.
So did I. And it was not the air conditioning.
Well, we saw Springer with 2 strikes and what he did on the 2-strike fastball. How about this first pitch fastball? He almost lost the bat.
Carlos Gomez, 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. And now 2-2.
Slider, great slider. A little smile from Gomez as he swung and missed. And the fastball opened up, and good wrinkle on the slider going away from it.
And that's a shot off Migden. He gets it. He underhands to first, but he's hurting right now. So he's
got him in the chest.
Pushing the left side of his chest, and let's see. Now, I wonder, Ray, if he didn't get a little glove on it before it hit his body. Let's see.
It looked like the glove moved.
He got a little glove, and then it off the left chest area. And I said a little glove.
Yeah, it wasn't much. You could see the glove move a little bit.
Hang in there, Mom. I think he's got his glove on, so he's going to stay in there.
Well, if it's a left side area, that's the pull through of the left arm. You know, Kite, they always talk about catchers, the beatings that catchers take. But you think about a pitcher. By the time he finishes, it's 60 feet 6 inches from pitching rubber to the plate. But by the time the follow through, wait, another 3 or 4 feet in front.
Yep.
And so when a ball comes back, and God forbid they come that often, and unfortunately they don't, but when they do, that's the scary part.
They're double checking on him just to make sure he's okay.
And Milwaukee alerting the Astros dugout, no visit by the skipper and the trainer coming out to check on him. But man, Alonso off the foot, and but a smile. That's good to see.
So he'll have a nice, probably a nice bruise.
Yeah. Well, the thing you don't want is the signature of Rob Manfred, the new commissioner, on your body someplace. And it's Gomez looking for a hit up the middle. Instead, Mingda knocked it down.
Here's Reed. Good curve for a strike to A.J. Reed, who walked in the third. Another curve, and this one pretty good pitch, but a little low. Reed as far as comparisons go. He looks like a larger version of Jay Bruce. A little bit.
Don't tell that to Mingman, though. He almost hit one out of.
Yeah, that's not why I said it.
I know.
Just.
But you're right. He does. His setup and.
Yeah, he's quite a bit bigger than Bruce. He's bigger than everybody. The swing is somewhat similar.
One thing, Kipe, with the All-Star break coming up Monday, it's 4 days off, so this is Mingman's last start. We've seen starters starting with Gray on Wednesday, the last start before the resumption of the season, which would be Friday at the Coliseum. So if there's any good news about an injury, this is it. The fact that we get the extra time and for Mingman to go as long as he can. And again, it's the left shoulder, so it's the pull through, and that's always important as well for a right-handed pitcher or left-handed, them pulling through with the opposite arm. That man will take it easy with Mingman to make sure that he's okay.
Bounce foul. Well, after the All-Star break, the A's will play 13 consecutive days. Right now, in the middle of playing 20 consecutive days.
But you would have to think that Gray and Hill or Gray would start next Friday, Saturday. So you're looking at the earliest for Mingman. Then if he's back it up, he could be 10, 11 days in between starts between now and maybe the first part of the next week after the break.
Valencia near the seats, and he reaches in. A few too many Astros fans there.
Like one guy tried to catch him with a helmet. Well, it's kept slicing and lots of gloves, caps. And that woman that was back there pointing, she said, I don't want anything to do with it.
No.
You guys can fight for it. If you want to give it to me afterwards, that's fine. But it's you guys go after.
If you want to be gentlemen and give it to me after, that's just fine. Swing and a miss. So Migden comes back, gets the strikeout, but Carlos Correa with a 2-run homer. So 5th inning coming up. It's now 3-2 A's. A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Beautiful look at downtown Houston. Our hotel's in there somewhere. If we had enough time, we could probably find it.
How many Altuves does it take to to find
your
hotel.
hotel. We don't have enough. It was in there somewhere. Trust me. So top of the 5th, it's now a 3-2 game. A's will have the top of their order: Lowry, Davis, and Reddick. Jed Lowry has a broken bat single and a bunt single.
And McHugh, second time to the batting order, not as good as the first time. Flawless the first 9 batters. Just 1 hit, but throwing a lot of pitches, and you start getting the pitch count up. And as hitters or pitchers start to approach the 100 pitch mark, I think they start to lose a little bit off the pitches. He's at 71, getting ready to make his 72nd. Still a good curveball. May throw that a little bit more now.
Pitch number 73 coming up. And it's a fastball inside, so full count. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts so far for Colin McHugh. Bounced foul. That cut fastball at 85.
Yeah, that's a cutter. It's pitchers like to do that because it's a fastball count and just a little cut on it. They hope to take it off the sweep part. Watch the ball break right in on the hands. Jed Lowry right there.
It's very subtle, isn't it? The cutter.
Yeah, and it's just like, as opposed to a slider, which is a bigger break. Cutter, it's a very small break. Curveball side.
It's hot for A.J. Reed, and Lowry's retired.
Now that's confidence in a curveball.
Yep.
To throw it 3-2 and get the rollover, and throws it close enough to the strike zone, too close to take, and McHugh, it's pretty special. And of course we see Rich Hill regularly throw a 3-2 curveball, and McHugh doing it at that time.
Looks like Migden's okay. Easy for me to say. Foul to the screen by Chris Davis.
It's got to be frustrating for Chris Davis because his left shoulder, remember he banged his left shoulder San Francisco. And he's not 100%, and probably for him the All-Star break is going to be great. Just to get some time away, not swing, maybe let his shoulder rest a little bit.
Nice play by Colin McHugh, reaches back for it.
And the biggest thing for Chris Davis, if he's not confident and comfortable with his normal swing because of the left shoulder injury, or at least ache, and that pitch a little bit away, McHugh back across his body. And a nice play on the second pitch.
Did you say, Ray, if you have shoulder injury or your shoulders are bothering you, it just takes away some of your strength when you're swinging. It may not, it's not going to be noticeable, but you just may not have that bat speed.
Yeah. And you might be thinking about it just enough to know that if you really let it go, that little bit of a gotcha, that you feel it.
0-1 to Reddick. But Colin McHugh is looking for a shutdown inning. Migden could not get one last half inning. Marwin Gonzalez, a couple steps to his left, grabs the one hopper off the bat of Reddick and throws him out at first base. 3 up, 3 down inning, bottom of the 5th coming up. 3-2 A's. Brought to you by Coors, the banquet beer. 1992 All-Star Game, the last time the game was played in San Diego at the Murph. Former Athletic Mark McGwire won the Home Run Derby at Jack Murphy Stadium. Big Mac hit 12 home runs. It was the first time an Athletic had won the Home Run Derby. There he is. A little different then than it is now. It's a primetime show now. Back then, during the day, Mac won the Home Run Derby. Of course, Yoenis Cespedes won it in 2013 and 2014. The Home Run Derby has now become a big thing.
It's different. It's
Monday
different.
night.
It's different. Remember the Home Run Derby in Boston with McGwire. I mean, you talk about the Green Monster and juice baseballs. Unbelievable. Some of the shots he hit.
Tighten them up a little bit.
Yes. Yes. Especially that gold ball.
I was reading about the Home Run Derby today, which last year went to a different format. It went to a bracket format where it's basically 8 guys all seeded 1 through 8, and then they just basically square off in a bracket. It used to kind of be the American League against the National League, which is not the case anymore.
That's right. You pointed that out last night.
Yeah,
which 5 National Leaguers?
I believe so. Yeah. And
because Trout bowed out.
yeah, there's actually 5 National League, 3 American League. That's what it is. Base hit. So Marisnick with a leadoff single here in the 5th inning. But these are the participants in this year's Home Run Derby, and it's Mark Trumbo, Todd Frazier, Adam Duvall, Robinson Cano, Corey Seager, Carlos Gonzalez, Will Myers, Giancarlo Stanton. So those guys will be seeded 1 through 8, and they're basically the number 1 seed, the guy who has the most home runs, which at this point is Mark Trumbo. And they will just go off bracket. Whoever wins moves on. Whoever loses is out.
Todd Frazier in his hometown last year, Cincinnati, won the home run contest, and he's got 23 now, and he's going to try to go after it again. He wanted to participate. That's pretty special.
Yeah, he's the number 2 seed. Corey Seager is the 8th seed. He has 17 home runs. So Corey Seager and Mark Trumbo will square off in the first round. 1 versus 8.
Was it Springer who also bowed out? I'm just trying to think. Somebody of the Astros, Pereira, Springer, one of them said that.
Springer said, "No, not my thing." Which it's understandable.
Said I didn't do a good job in the minor leagues. Why would I want to? I mean, you're doing it on the big stage there. I mean, that's a nationally televised Home Run Derby. And Ron Washington, who has managed 2 All-Star games, he said, "Man, you got kids running around. You got everybody out on the field, and of course Wash managed in of course 10 and 11 in the World Series, so it's been 11 and 12 that he managed the American League team. And how would you like to be managing and your star pitcher goes out in the first inning, Justin Verlander gives up 5?
That's right.
And you got to say, wow, and I got to try to finish this and try to win.
Makes a lot.
Yeah. I remember watching that. I don't think Verlander threw anything but fastballs, and the National League just jumped right on top of it. They just gave up a 2-strike slider to Marisnick for a base hit.
Well, the format for the All-Star game, it's very interesting. There's 4 minutes per batter for each round. So you get as many swings as you can in, but you have 4 minutes each batter, each round. But what you do get if you request it is you can get a 45-second timeout. So in the middle of your 4 minutes, if you're getting tired, you can say timeout.
That's good.
Right.
Don't have to go to the corner.
Exactly. And you get that in the first and second rounds. And now if you make it to the finals, well, then you're allowed 2 45-second timeouts to give yourself a little break. So they've really tweaked the format of the Home Run Derby a lot.
Otherwise, it takes, what, 4 hours?
Well, and I think that was part of it too. But now, you're doing it last year, there's some excitement because you're looking at the clock and you're running out of time, and so you need rapid-fire pitches to hit them out.
That's a good point. Because when Josh Hamilton hit in Yankee Stadium, it seemed like it took forever. I mean, he hit like 19 at one time, and
well, that's the thing. You can just keep hitting them. Yeah,
and it's like an hour. It seemed it took forever to do it.
In this case, you only have so much time, and you hit as many as you can in that time frame. 4 minutes per batter for each round.
And that will tire you up. as a hitter. I mean, because it's rapid fire. You say Cano is in that? Because Cano, when he participated, his father pitched to him.
Yeah, Robinson Cano is in it. And Cano's in it for the 4th time.
Yeah. And he was the captain one year, I guess, and didn't select, was Kansas City, didn't select somebody, and they got upset. Fans did.
But I think doing it this way was pretty fun last year, and you're going to keep it that way. A little flare, that could be trouble, and it is. And Marisnick read it perfectly. He's got very good speed, and he goes to 3rd. Sometimes when a ball goes up, you can just tell nobody's going to catch it. And we could see that from up here in the booth. And
that's what every base runner should do. You should know where the infielders, outfielders are, how hard the ball is hit. And if you're running, in this case, he's running towards second, and he could go halfway and know it's going to drop and then not stop, and with his speed easily get to third base. In the middle of 3, 2 outfielders and an infielder, absolutely no chance. So Marisnick really on his own getting into third base.
Migden gets a visit from his pitching coach.
Now let's see what George Springer does in this at bat. 0-2 in his last at bat, and he struck out on a fastball swinging very hard. And of course, ideally, a strikeout. That's what you try to get, want to get if you're a pitcher, and then get the double play or a pop up, something to keep the runners where they are right now.
First pitch to Springer, and he had a big rip.
And what's good here, Cap, is the fact that Castro is not a threat to steal. This is a high breaking pitch, maybe changeup, but if Castro was the Springer Altuve, he may be running to stay out of any possible double play or to try to maximize this first and third nobody out. That's why a strikeout is important in this battle.
Inside to Springer. A 1-1 the count. Springer has grounded out and struck out. Blocked by Vogt. Migden rolled through the first 3 innings. He had 4 strikeouts, did not give up a hit. But Correa with the 2-run homer in the 4th, and a little bit of trouble here in the 5th. Good pitch there. The crowd didn't like it, but that looked like a good pitch.
Yeah, it's a perfectly thrown pitch, outside corner, slider. And
setting up inside. Springer spoiled a pretty good pitch, even though Migden missed the target. But this is that situation we talked about with Springer, where you'd like to see him shorten his swing up a little bit. Especially, I mean, it's a 3-2 game.
Well, the one pitch that he's bowling was a high fastball, and if it could go belt or above, he might get a swing and miss again. That's with a good fastball.
And he laid off that time. So full count. Marisnick at third, Castro at first. Getting a runner in from third with less than 2 outs, 32% for Springer, and that's not very good.
And a strikeout possibility, which means Castro might not be running. The hitter is the one that really determines whether the runner at first runs or not. Springer, who has tremendous power, but he is vulnerable to strikeout. He may shorten his swing. Maybe Dave Hudgens, the hitting coach, said, hey, you got to shorten up a little bit. You can't be swinging that hard with 2 strikes.
Runner not going. And reach for it. Popped up. Alonso over. And it's into the cheeks.
Out in Oakland.
Yes, it is.
I think some pitchers don't like pitching in the Coliseum, especially with a foul territory. And there's a perfect example of an out, but not here.
So a good crowd tonight, and they're starting to make some noise. Not close. Well, Migden, that's his second walk tonight, and now he's in a load of trouble. So this is the third time through the lineup for Migden. So 190 the first time through, 175 the second time through, 371 the third time.
And that's something he's going to have to adapt to as he continues to pitch. And because if he's seeing a team for the first time, and we've noticed it, previous 5 and now 6 starts, that it's kind of a novelty in a sense for hitters to face him with the double pump, etc. But he made 2 pitches to Springer that were so far out of the strike zone he wasn't even tempted to swing.
Here's Marwin Gonzalez. First pitch is drilled to center, and that's a base hit. It's going to score 1. They'll hold up Castro, and we are all tied at 3. So Marwin Gonzalez did not wait around. He got a first pitch fastball right down the middle, and he's got an RBI single.
First pitch fastball, and you're right, no waiting around. It's hit so hard that even the aggressive Gary Pettis at third base coach could not see Castro, especially with nobody out. And also, since Jose Altuve is coming up.
So 3 singles and a walk. Still nobody out. First pitch to Altuve. On the ground, Simeon charges. He'll go out at second. On the first, not in time. Castro comes in to score, and the Astros lead 4-3.
You know what? That'd been a time to come to the plate. I mean, if there's no way you're going to double up Altuve, and when a ball is hit like that, I mean, Castro's halfway. It'd have been a close play. And see where Castro is as the ball, and of course with Simeon playing back, it'd have been a tough play to try to get him. So you have to go to second, but it's hit too softly for Altuve to be doubled up.
So Altuve gets RBI number 50. 2 runs in, and here's Carlos Correa. Stephen Vogt's going to chat with Migden. Correa with a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. He also grounded out in the 2nd. Springer at 3rd, Altuve at 1st. Zabczynski gets up. First pitch is a good one. Outside corner, first strike. Altuve did not have a real big lead. He does have 22 steals. Which I think in this case you want to make sure Correa can swing the bat. Did he go? Yes. Kerwin Danley.
That's a good breaking ball, good curveball after he took the first pitch slider. And Kerwin, I mean, he got it back quickly, but the bat went far enough forward. Stephen Vogt quickly making the appeal to first base.
make them ahead 0-2. Hard slider. That's a pretty good pitch. 0-2. Enough to tease Correa a little bit.
Try to get him to chase, and he's aggressive. On the ground is to be hit sharply enough to be able to turn a double play. The A's are playing back for it.
Base hit center field. A line shot. Altuve round second. He's going to try for third. Cut off by Semien, and now Correa's going to be in a rundown. You got to keep an eye on Altuve. So the A's have to execute. Here comes Altuve to the plate. The throw, and they got him. So well done by the A's to cut down Altuve at the plate. Springer scores on the base hit to make it 5-3.
Bob Melvin going to the mound, but you're right, Kyle. That is great execution. Base hit up the middle. Altuve testing the arm of Billy Burns. Billy did the best thing. He hit the cutoff man. Semien cuts the ball and then throws back to second base. Lowry looking at Altuve, fakes there, and then Correa. And watch this play by Marcus Semien. A perfect throw to Stephen Vogt for the put out at the plate, and that is huge. Because Altuve was not hesitating, and then as he tried to score with Correa and the rundown, he was just waiting to see. He actually waited till the wrong guy got the baseball. That's Semien, and he made the perfect throw. That is great execution.
So when it's all said and done, Correa, it's the RBI single. He ends up at second base. And we have a pitching change. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, auto service, and repair experts. Astros have scored 3 times, could have been 4.
There's one cutoff man, throw to Lowry. Lowry's going to watch Altuve. He knows he's aggressive. Fakes to third. Correa coming down. So here's the key. If he'd run there, might have had a better chance, but it got the ball to Semien, who was looking right at Altuve. And for Altuve, once Alonso got the ball, as he's running towards second, if he had taken off, then Alonso has to stop, throw across his body. But for Semien, he was looking right at Altuve, trying to score, and a very, very well executed play by the A's.
So Subjinski comes in to face Valbuena first pitch strike, so lefty on lefty.
Should have been first and third, 1 out. But fortunately, A's got a break with a good run down. Clean shaven Subjinski, how about that? Looks like a different man.
Valbuena base hit left field. And coming in to score is Carlos Correa. Correa had a sidestep Danny Valencia. In fact, they may have had a little contact there. Valencia talking to the umpire, but either way, the run comes in to score. and it's 6-3.
Well, it's Correa, and that's why DJ Rayburn pointed to Valencia. You have to allow the base runner. And this opposite field by the left-hander, and watch as Correa approaches third base. And he pointed, and of course he scores without a play.
So all 6 runs charged to Migden. You can close the book on him. And his worst outing as a big leaguer. Back to Valencia. Carlos Gomez is retired, but 4 runs for the Astros. They do it on 5 hits, so it's now 6-3 Astros after 5. (6-3) top of the 6th inning. Colin McHugh will work with a lead for the first time tonight. So Daniel Migden, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 6 strikeouts in 91 pitches. So a good first 3 innings for Migden, but things fell apart in the 4th and the 5th, so he'll be disappointed.
And he's not going to make an excuse, because guys like that don't, but just have to wonder, getting the ball hit where he got hit. And after that happened, it's kind of fell apart. And it was a shot off his, that was back in the 4th inning after the 2-run home run. He did get through it, but then fell apart in this last inning.
Valencia, Vogt, and Butler here in the 6th. Colin McHugh sitting at 82 pitches. Again, foul to the screen. Valencia singled and scored in the 4th. He scored on Vogt's triple. There's that cut fastball, and you see Valencia probably just got it down toward the bottom of the bat a little bit.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the bat, and just nothing to it.
Yeah, just watch it on the bat towards the end. Watch this right there, and that's the whole purpose of a cutter. If it's a 4-seam straight, it goes right in the sweet part of the bat, but with a swing, it looks like it's a good one. And then towards the end, and you really aren't going to drive the ball. Sometimes you break the bat. Sometimes you get lucky and bloop it in center field, as Castro did.
So 5 straight retired by Colin McHugh. He pumps a fastball in for a strike to Vogt. Mentioned where Bartolo Colon is an all-star this year. He was named to replace Bumgarner. Max Scherzer was named to the all-star team today, and he is replacing his teammate Steven Strasburg. So the replacements are starting to come in, and there will be more. We got to get. We have 34 players on each roster. How about the day for the Mets, Ray?
Oh.
Matt Harvey announces he's going to have season-ending surgery today. All right, that's tough. And tonight in their game at home against Washington, Yoenis Cespedes leaves the game with a quad injury. And an inning later, Noah Syndergaard leaves. And his velocity was down about 5 miles per hour tonight. Those are two all-stars right there.
That's right.
We don't know how serious the injuries are, but they both had to leave the game. Syndergaard walked off with the training.
And Colon is the healthiest starter of all for the Mets.
He is.
I mean, as big as he is, how do you get hurt?
Base hit center field for Stephen Vogt. He's 2 for 3. But that's a tough day if you're the Mets.
Well, good swing. Stephen Vogt with the shift to the right side. And as he did in his last at bat, this was a 2-strike single where he tripled into right center in the last at bat, but this split the gap between the third baseman and the shortstop. This is only the 6th inning, and this is a good hitter's park.
Butler taking all the way, and it's a strike. Butler has walked, and he's got an RBI single, so a good night for Billy so far. Breaking ball hit hard right to third. Valbuena to second for 1. Gonzalez flips to first, and that's an inning-ending double play off the bat of Billy Butler. Bottom of the 6th coming up. And the Astros now with a 6-3 lead.
Now for the forward right choice, let's go back to last night. Rich Hill, second start since returning from the DL. 10 strikeouts, and you're going to watch a whole bunch with the fastball. 7 of his 10 with the fastball. He would throw a couple of curves, a slider, but Rich Hill picked up the win last night. His 9th of the season against 3 losses. And 101 pitches, did a great job. 7-0 on the road with a 1.41 ERA. For the A's lefty, Rich Hill. And start again last night. There were no restrictions, and 83 pitches the previous start, 101 last night, and did a great job for 6 solid innings.
Well, tonight it's going to be the A's offense that's going to have to win this one, trailing 6-3, bottom of the 6th inning. So Zabczynski to face A.J. Reed, who rolls the first one toward Alonso, actually bounces it towards Alonso, who steps in the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. First place Rangers are hosting the Twins again tonight. Rangers leading 4-2 in the 5th inning. Twins won last night 10-1. That's Cole Hamels looking for his 10th win of the year. Been a little bit of a struggle for the Rangers lately. They've lost 7 out of 9, but still have a 6.5 game lead over these Astros in the West.
As we talked last night, you could say, well, the Astros are going to play the Rangers, but they can't beat them.
Yeah, playing them's great, but you better beat them,
Right.
especially if you're chasing them.
They're playing very well. They are a good ball club, and they got a lot of veterans that know what it's like to win. Considering the pitching staff, the minds that they've had injuries, and A.J. Hinch just like to stay close, try to make it a race for them.
Triggs gets up. Andrew Triggs starting to throw.
We're talking about the All-Star break and the 4 days off, and starting with Rich Hill on Sonny Gray on Wednesday, and the A's pitchers will not pitch again until after the break. The good news, if you have a good outing, you can enjoy it. In the case of Daniel Mingda tonight, he struggled, gave up 6 runs, and now he's got to wait a long time before he takes the mound again. And you know, from a starting pitcher in general, Kendall Graveman won on the 4th of July, so he'll get 1 more start. And so will Manaea Saturday and Sunday for those 2 respectively. And you know, it's just a tough time to wait 5 days anyway, or 4 days. But now you've got the extended time with the All-Star break, so nice to finish on a positive note in the traditional first half. By the way, that curveball was a pretty good pitch.
I liked it.
Yeah. Zabczynski thought he struck out Marisnick.
Davis playing into left center a little bit, and that's out number 2. Yeah, for Migden, you're talking probably 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, usually with an extended All-Star break, the 4 days, pitching coach, manager can kind of set it up with the start. And right now, it's kind of alternating lefties and righties anyway, so I don't know that Kurt Young would do anything. And really, right now, nobody's expected to come back. So you've got the 5 that you have now, and the way it is set up, you got righty. Was Hill pitched last night. Mingden, and you got righty tomorrow, lefty, and then do whatever. So got the 3 righties, 2 lefties. So you just kind of mix and match that way, and probably will start the second half the same. Kurt Young getting the cap lifted to Scott Emerson that Andrew Triggs is ready, maybe for the leadoff hitter.
0-2 to Jason Castro, who has struck out and singled. 4 runs in the 5th inning. The difference in this game for the Astros. 3-7-0 for the A's, 6-7-0 for Houston. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Vogt tags him, side retired. So Zabczynski has a 3-up, 3-down inning, and it's time to head for the 7th. 6-3 Astros.
Beloved worldwide phenomenon of Hello Kitty is back. Add to your collection with this year's version of Hello Kitty, dressed to the nines in full A's catcher's gear. Saturday, July the 16th game against the Toronto Blue Jays. 15,000 fans can pick up and hug their very own Hello Kitty bobblehead. Visit athletics.com/tickets today. What is that?
That's downtown. I walked by that the other day, yesterday.
Is it air conditioned?
My guess is
no.
Yes.
Indoors. But,
indoors, yeah.
But that Ferris wheel's not.
No. You're in the elements.
Did you go in the Ferris wheel?
I did not. Just walk past.
It's only Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Seattle's the only.
Seattle's bigger. I like the really big, giant Ferris wheels. So top of the 7th. A little flare towards center, and that'll be a hit for Yonder Alonso. That's his first hit.
Yonder's got some line drives in this series. One last out of the 9th and this one. And it sounded like a fractured bat, but just placed perfectly. He hit it and then slammed his bat on the ground to complete the breakage of the bat. And Gomez couldn't get to it, did not leave his feet.
So see if the A's can string some hits together. Marcus Semien will hit. He homered in the 4th. So he now has 19 home runs and 45 RBIs. That's the same amount of RBIs he had last year. Get shorty. So now the 2nd most home runs in all of baseball by a shortstop. Says a lot.
Well, it's the fastball, as I mentioned, 11 home runs with a 2-strike count. Fastball pulled the hands in, amazingly released the hand and hit just above the yellow line. So I've got him with 11 2-strike home runs, 10 against righties and 9 against lefties. Pretty equal for Marcus Semien. What a season he's having. And, you know, we talked about the break, Kike, and you're talking about Semien wanting to play every day and gets the 4 days off. You know what he's concerned about is the timing. He said, I'm going to get 4 days off, but, you know, it's tough to keep your timing if you have that much time off. And we know that is usually the case. So may see him at a batting cage someplace during the break.
And a 3-0 pitch is inside. So a 4-pitch walk.
Strom, the pitching coach, on the phone. 98 pitches for the right-hander.
2 walks, 3 strikeouts for McHugh. So the most pitches he has thrown in an inning was the first.
Oh, AJ, maybe Brent Strom was on the phone to see if someone was loose.
So he's looking down there, checking in on his start. So that's Ken Giles. He's ready to go, and he's coming in. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. McHugh gone after 6+.
July the 22nd, animal lovers unite at the Coliseum, where fans can bring their dogs to the A's 7:05 p.m. game against the Tampa Bay Rays. Special ticket is required for Bark at the Park, presented by Avaderm, Nonabone, and PetSmart. This event sells out annually and limited tickets remain. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/bark to register for this special night. July the 22nd. That's coming up, the A's homestand after the break. So Ken Giles, who's brought over from the Phillies, you see the numbers for Colin McHugh, 6+, 98 pitches, couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. But Giles, who is pitching now, just thought he would be the closer, but that is not the case. Matter of fact, they have Harris and Gregerson, and Giles pretty much the setup. He may eventually be the closer. Right now, he is trying to get through this inning with a couple of runners on.
And Giles had a bad spring training, and he had a bad start to the year. He is pitching significantly better now. And the Astros bullpen has been very good. Second best bullpen ERA in the American League.
That may be why A.J. Hinch went to the bullpen, because of their success.
Big pitch there, 98 miles an hour from Giles.
Well, he's got a good fastball, Giles does, and that's why closed for the Phillies. And could hit at one time triple digits with the fastball.
Oh, 0-2 to Burns. There's that fastball, 99 miles an hour. Now, the Astros gave up 5 minor leaguers for Ken Giles.
Yeah. And some good ones.
And good ones, yeah.
Jeff Luhnow, the general manager, saying you need to have guys the back end of the bullpen, and they're probably planning Giles to be a closer in the future. The future is evidently not right now at 16.
Now, one of the reasons they gave up so much for Giles, he was only in the big leagues with the Phillies for a year and a half.
That's right.
So they're going to have him for 5 more years. They'll have control of him for 5 more years.
Yeah.
Now you hope he pitches well in that time. But if you get a player or a pitcher who's really, really good, and you have that much control over him, it's going to cost you a bundle of prospects.
That's right. Well, the control is the key.
Yep.
Because you know you can have him in a year and a half. That he's not even eligible for arbitration.
No, he's not.
Yeah, and Sonny Gray only hits arbitration this year. That's why there are teams that try to convince Billy Bean David Force to part with him.
Slapped foul on a high fastball. So you're right, Giles may not be the closer now, but he's not going anywhere, and he very well could go on and have a terrific career with the Astros. He's just 25 years old. 1-2 to Burns, with Lowry waiting in the on-deck circle. Alonso at second, Simeon at first. Bounced up the middle. Correa has it. He'll take it himself, and they'll get the out at second base. Once Carlos Correa realized that he was not going to get a double play, he just decided to take it himself.
Well, and also to make sure he didn't try to make a quick throw like he did last night, to make a bad throw. They just need to try to chip away, especially getting a couple of guys on back to top the batting order, and shift again employed by the Astros. And with the Giles mid to upper 90s fastball, you see where Correa is playing on the third base side of second, moving over a little bit more. Very inviting for Jed Lowry.
Now, Ray, when the game gets late and we're in the 7th inning, you're running out of time. So you cannot miss opportunities, because you're just not going to have that many more in this game.
Here's one right now to do something. At least the runner at third.
That one squirts off the glove of Castro. Alonso coming home, and he'll make it. I don't think that ball was in the dirt.
It wasn't. He tried to backhand a ball outside, Cap, and that's one of the problems with catching, in a sense, when they try to do those things and the ball's running away. And watch the glove. See how he tried to backhand it? And when you backhand a ball instead of turning it towards the plate, that's the problem. Watch the glove. Watch this.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
And he's a better catcher.
He's a lot better, and he's the top in framers. But you see, if he turned it the opposite direction, he catches it easily. But he turned it away towards the outside, and you know, any movement on the ball is going to scoot under.
So now 6-4, and it is a pass ball, and that's the right call.
You're right, Jason Castro, one of the better receivers in the game, and to have that happen has to be deflating, because basically what it does, the Astros takes a double play away, puts a runner at second, scores a run. And A.J. Hinch, a former catcher. You know, there are 10 former catchers managing in the American League, 10 of the 15.
Lowry chased a hard slider, 1-2.
Lowry here last year, but Giles wasn't. So it's not as if he played behind him at all. That ball, hard breaking ball, no chance for the contact as it was in the dirt.
Chris Davis will be next. And another slider, and Lowry swings and misses.
For Jason Castro, it hurts even more, because this a hard breaking ball is as if he teased him with a fastball is at mid to upper 90s, and then here comes the hard slider curveball with similar velocity, and makes it very hard to hit.
And you can see the stuff that Giles has.
Oh, yes.
I mean, 97, 98 miles an hour, and then that terrific slider. Davis swings and misses, 98.
Well, Giles was with the Philadelphia Phillies, you mentioned, acquired by the Astros, and he was very appreciative for the Phillies to give him the opportunity to get to the big leagues. Actually wrote a letter when he was traded, and of course everybody knows about the Philly fans. He said, "Thank you for not booing me because he didn't throw 100."
He doesn't have to.
No, he doesn't. But I guess they heard about his reputation and his velocity, and he was not able to accomplish it with his first pitch to the big leagues. But his breaking ball, if you throw as hard as he does and you can put a wrinkle on it throwing that hard, he's going to get a lot of strikeouts because of it.
There's that good fastball, and Davis will be a little tardy on it, 99 miles an hour.
Chris Davis up, that Crawford box area, left field, the area in general, and that's why Colin McHugh is thinking about one swing of the bat from Chris Davis could change everything in this game.
With a breaking ball that stayed outside. Liam Hendricks now with Triggs out in the bullpen. Breaking ball right there, strike 3 called, and Davis knew it. So Giles does a pretty good job. A's do get the run on the pass ball, 6-4 as we reach the 7th inning stretch.
In part by Dexam, Dryers Ice Cream, Whole Foods Market, and Zevia, is set for Tuesday, July the 19th, with proceeds again benefiting JDRF. This year's guest scoopers are A's outfielder Sam Fold and Alexi Melvin, who both have type 1 diabetes, along with other A's players, coaches, and local celebrities. Fans in attendance will be served refreshing root beer floats for $3 each, and sugar-free floats will be available. Admission is free with a game ticket, like those Orange Crush floats. And we'll see the skipper deep in the heart of Texas. They play it every 7th inning.
Much to the enjoyment of the fans. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and spa experts. So Andrew Triggs come in, third pitcher of the night for the A's. For Triggs, no record, an ERA just a little over 6. And Springer chases that slider. For Mark Zebjinski, an inning and a third, a hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout.
And, you know, we have raved about Ryan Dull and the success, 36 for 36 runners in scoring position when he's come in. And Mark Zebjinski, I mean, he gives up a hit and a run scores. And, you know, that's why Ryan Dull has been so spectacular this season. And Zebjinski has had a great year himself. But it just goes to show you that when a reliever comes in, if you could shut him down like Ryan Dull has done it all year, that's one extra run. And instead of being a 2-run, it'll be a 1-run game now. And Hope Giles is finished. He's pretty good. So maybe they go to Sip or Gregerson to get to Harris. That's kind of the setup towards the back end.
And I have to compliment you on the research that you did on the Ryan Dull. Remember we were talking about a couple of games a little while back where we showed that the league was 1 for something with runners in scoring position against Ryan Dull. So we were thinking, well, there is a hit with a runner in scoring position, but it must not have scored a run. Well, that was not necessarily the case, because there has been appearances where Ryan Dull has started an inning. He doesn't do it a lot, but there has. And you dug out and you actually found the game where he gave up the runner in scoring position, and it was an inning that he started.
Right here.
Right here.
Yeah. And it was an error on himself after walking Springer that threw an errant ball over to first base, sent him to second, got to third, and a high chopper.
That's good research by you. That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Hey, Know It All with Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai tonight at 10:30, and it's over on our sister station, CSN Bay Area. We'll have all the highlights from our A's Astros game. And what's next for the Warriors after the Kevin Durant signing? They are losing a few pieces, but none of that matches up to the talent of Kevin Durant. And U.S. women's highlights. Mindy Bach and Emmett Freed will host at Sportsnet Central tonight. There's Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez bunts, pulls the bat back on that Triggs slider. Twins leading the Rangers 5-4, bottom of the 6th inning in Arlington. And Mariners leading the Royals 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Mariners trying to bounce back after a tough loss last night. Yeah. They have a 3-0 lead going to the bottom of the 8th in Kansas City, and the Royals scored 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th and won it 4-3.
That's the magic. That's the magic of the Royals, man. They are. I mean, the A's have seen it firsthand. Go back to 2014 and the wild card play-in. They were down 3 in the 8th and took the extra innings one, so they believe. And the crowds are picking up in Kansas City after winning the World Championship last year. A lot of good things happening there.
Indians won tonight, 10-2 over the Yankees. Speaking of crowds, and they had a shade under 35,000, and I think that may now be a sellout for them.
Yeah, it is.
They took some of the capacity away with what they did in the upper deck there at Progressive Field, and I think that is a sellout now. 35,000, somewhere in that number.
Now, they were talking about the 4th of July. People waited about 2.5 hours And they announced a sellout at 34,000 plus.
And then it was a sellout tonight. The good things happening in Cleveland with the Indians getting their 52nd win of the year.
Well, this is a weekend series, but I did check the attendance last night. Granted, it was Thursday. It's just 21,000.
21,
yeah, that they drew against the Yankees. And I remember many years ago, those are big draws. Play doubleheaders and lose both of them in the 9th inning. Have the lead feeling so great with a big crowd on hand, and Yankees would score in the top of the 9th both games. It was fun, though. I mean, you go into the season knowing you're going to lose. I mean, nothing, no big deal.
Two pitch to Marwin Gonzalez, and way out in front, hits it right up over the Astros dugout. Gonzalez 1 for 3 with that RBI hit in the 5th. There's a shot to right field. Line drive, base hit. Gonzalez is 2 for 4.
Okay, how about this? Happy birthday to Alan Ashby alongside Bill Brown. It's his 65th birthday tonight. Of course, a great catcher. Teammates in Cleveland, and also catching some of those guys we showed retired numbers. Mike Scott, the no-hitter. Bill Brown to his right. Brownie he doesn't travel. That's a good sketch. He stays at home. Ash does color on home. Bill Brown does a play-by-play, and on the road we'll see Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum. So happy birthday to Alan Ashby.
Awesome. One of our favorites.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Yeah, we love Alan Ashby.
Yeah.
So you guys were teammates for a little while.
Yeah, in Cleveland. Toronto. They ended up here in Houston and caught at the Astrodome.
He had a good career, Alan.
Those ugly uniforms.
Yeah, he did have to wear those. Runner goes, and Altuve rolls it foul. Altuve's 1 for 3. A base hit and scored in the 4th inning. 1 for 7 in the series. See, that's what Alan Ashby had to wear. He survived.
Yeah. Well, you go to the Astrodome. He didn't have those color shoes, though, but he had the upper jersey.
Runner goes again. And ball's hit in the air. Headed for the seats and back into the crowd.
Well, the Astros have some former greats. Enos Cabell, we see him a lot here. Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan back with the Astros. Craig Biggio. You got, I think Jimmy Wynn is part of the Astros. You got Mike Scott's retired number. And Biggio number 7 with Bagwell. Jimmy Wynn. I mean, they've got some good ones. Had some good ones and want to come back to where they were.
The Astros in their 55th year here in Houston. Remember, they were an expansion team way back in 1962. Came in with the Mets. They were the Colts 45s for the first 2 years, and then they changed their name to the Astros.
And if Nolan Ryan had played for every American National League team, he'd have his number retired in every city.
That's right.
He's got it retired in 3. Houston, Arlington, and Anaheim. The Ryan Express. A lot of American League hitters wish he'd stayed in the National League and vice versa. Right. But the one guy, and of course teammate of Enos, is J.R. Richard. He could throw. I mean, he was a hard throwing right-hander that nobody could touch him.
Vogt can't get it, and it goes to the screen, and that will allow Gonzalez to go to second.
Well, it's that big sweeping breaking ball. We talked about Triggs throwing across his body, and then he throws a slider, just keeps running, and Stephen Vogt did his best to backhand. That's all you can do as a catcher. And It did bounce back, but not enough time to get Gonzalez, who attempted to steal twice.
So now you face Altuve with a runner in scoring position,
which means he'll be swinging. Got his 50th run batted in tonight on the fielder's choice in his last at bat.
And Gonzalez a running start. And you want to talk about getting a running lead? That was it right there.
And nobody's holding him on. Jed held his position at second, Simeon at short. Look at the middle infielders. Nobody. That's unusual. Somebody has to hold him on. You cannot let, with one out, a runner at second base get that kind of a lead. So maybe Simeon and Lowry talking about it a little bit, but the only thing that saved the A's there was the fact that Altuve had 2 strikes on him. He had to try to make contact.
So another 2-2 pitch coming up to Altuve.
He's going to do it again.
Strike 3 call.
Big sweeping breaking ball. This time the slider buckled the knees of Altuve and floated right in the middle of the plate. You get the buckle, and after you see the knees buckle as they just did right there, there's no chance for a hitter to do anything. That's a great pitch. You can't see it's too low.
No, that looked like a strike.
Yeah. That's a big run to keep it second, keep it a 2-run game for the A's. And your point about late in the game, the A's have a couple more at bats in regulation.
Outside corner strike to Carlos Correa. He's had a big night.
And this was a big blow after the A's had taken a 3-0 lead, and Mingden knew and left his bat. So a couple of youngsters are going to be seeing each other a lot. Former teammates perhaps in the organization together, whether they were teammates or not. But Mingden gave up a big one.
Another slider. This one's outside. Angels just picked up a win. They beat the Baltimore Orioles 9-5. The Angels have won 4 in a row. Another slider outside, 2-1.
And the Orioles back at home where they've played very well.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I just looked at their record. With the loss, they're 31-14 at home.
That's
Baltimore.
I mean, they knew whenever they're from Seattle and on the West Coast, they were struggling, swept by the Mariners in Seattle. But at home, they're definitely one of the top teams.
But you know, when you look in your rearview mirror, Ray, and you see a car coming way too fast behind you, well, that's the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's right.
Blue Jays won again tonight. They have won 7 in a row, and now they're 1 game behind the Orioles in the East. I think he went.
Yeah, it's a good call by the first base umpire, Kerwin Danley, to pay attention to see the fastball running in more than anything. It was self-defense trying to get out of the way. But Correa took his bat through the hitting zone. Now the Blue Jays, they get healthy. Yeah.
Just like last year.
Yeah, exactly right.
Gonzalez, he was going to go again, and Trigg saw it. Trigg's put a stop to that.
Well, the inside move is what stopped him, but there's nobody to throw it to. He had taken off, and somebody might have yelled. But right now, with 2 outs, it's a different story because the hitter's important. It's count as 2-2.
And the slider gets Correa swinging, so he just kept throwing him the slider, and he finally got him. So nothing for the Astros. We're headed to the 8th. Astros 6, A's 4.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
6-4 Astros lead. It's the top of the 8th inning, so a couple more opportunities for the A's against this pretty good Astros bullpen. Giles is out. The new pitcher, Luke Gregerson. Gregerson's first pitch is low. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. There's the numbers for Gregerson. 14 saves, but 5 blown saves, and those 5 blown saves kind of cost him the closer's job. Yeah. That, coupled with the fact that Will Harris was just pitching terrific, and the move was made. And Harris is an all-star.
Yeah, you're right. And when the A's were in town in early June, that's when the change was made. And remember, Gregerson gave up the solo home run to Jed Lowry on the Saturday, the time of the game. And right after that, they had extensive meetings and decided to make the change.
Tapped up the first base line. The new first baseman is Marwin Gonzalez, and he has it. A 1 out here in the 8th inning. A's Insider Podcast is live on CSNCalifornia.com. Each week, our insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, and special guests. This week's guest with Joe is A's third baseman Danny Valencia. The A's Insider Podcast with Joe Stiglitz. It's on CSNCalifornia.com, also available on iTunes. And when you go to the website, check out all the other goodies that Joe has. Writes a lot of articles. So everything you need to know about the Athletics, Joe's got it for you. He's our A's insider.
Yeah, he's good.
See Joe most nights on A's pregame live. Occasionally he's in the studio. Let's see, it can't hold up on the Gregerson slider. That's his money pitch.
Remember the Astros signed Gregerson on a 3-year contract for some good money. Of course, closer money. As the changes by the Astros in this 8th inning.
So now 1-2 is the count.
Well, this is one guy you definitely need to shorten up your swing, especially with 2 strikes. Throws a good sinker, throws a different type of a slider, one that goes straight down like a curveball, but it's a slider, and also the traditional side to side.
And there it is. Ground out and a strikeout for Gregerson here in the top of the 8th.
And this is his primary pitch. Remember, Gordon Lankley, the great scout, long time with the Phillies, said when he joined the A's, you're going to see one of the best slider pitchers in baseball. He's got it for the 1 year and pitched extremely well and signed as a free agent with the Astros.
So 2 outs for Vogt, who's got a single, a triple, an RBI, and a run score. And for Gregerson, this is year 2 of that 3-year contract he signed. Good pitch there, and it's 0-2.
He stays with that pitch, and it's amazing the different things he can do to the baseball. And not a bad setup man, a closer and setup man at the same time.
Right back to Gregerson. He grabs it, and that's a very impressive inning for Luke Gregerson. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Astros 6, A's 4. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. He's had a 3-0 lead, but the Astros have stormed back. It's now 6-4 for the A's. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Astros 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Daniel Migden gave up 6 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings. Another home run for Simeon. And Colin McHugh got a chance to get a win. He pitched into the 7th inning, and a 3 RBI night for Carlos Correa. So it's 6-4, bottom of the 8th. Andrew Triggs will go into his 2nd inning of work. Tomorrow afternoon, it'll be Lance McCullers and Kendall Graveman. Game 3 of this series.
It's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, mid-afternoon game.
Yeah.
Local time 3:10 local, and that means the bright sun coming in from the left field, whereas it's dark now. But tomorrow, with the 4 hours earlier, probably will be daylight throughout the game, and Sunday afternoon, the series finale, even more so.
1:10 first pitch back to the Bay Area. 3:10 here in Houston.
So take a look at that. That's going to be the last time you're going to see the darkness in left field in this weekend series. But at least the roof will be closed, which is good because it will be muggy outside.
Three and 1 the count to Valbuena. Almost to follow. Good young right-handers. Graveman 4 and 6. McCullers 4 and 2. McCullers started the season on the disabled list. I think getting him back has made a big difference for the Astros. He's a very good young pitcher, and they missed him early. Valencia charges, and he's going to have it. His throw will be well late. So Valbuena just tapped it up the third base line, and really not much Danny Valencia could do.
Except let it go and hope that it rode foul, because he definitely wasn't going to throw him out. And when it's hit that softly and you hope to spin, and sometimes you could look at it, but since you know you're not going to throw him out, maybe sometimes it's best just to let it go, because it was tapped. See what kind of spin. He still had about 10 feet in front of the bag with a hope that it went foul.
From what I understand, it's faster if you run looking forward.
That's usually the case. Ever ride a bicycle and turn around?
It's very hard. It's hard to do.
Well, your momentum comes in, but then you stop and just say, okay, see what kind of spin. Probably not, but I guess you hope that he falls down or something when he's turning around looking backwards.
Carlos Gomez with another wild swing. Gomez is 0 for 3. He hit that ball that Migden had go off his chest. And Migden stayed in the game. Bunted. Triggs is going to have to hurry. Fires to first, and Alonso makes the catch. Nothing like a good sinker to first at about 90 miles an hour. Gomez ends up way down the right field line.
Check this out. Right from underneath, throw him a bullet. Hey, Alonso's good, so he can handle anything. And it was going to be a true sacrifice, but a hard throw. And Alonso got his foot out of the way with Gomez coming down the line.
So runner at second. Astros looking for an insurance run. So this is Danny Worth. Seeing him for the first time. There's a Danny Worth that played with the Tigers not long ago, right?
That's him. That's the man. He's actually a pretty good pitcher. I think he had a couple of appearances in those blowouts. I think he has a knuckleball, okay?
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know. Probably wants to keep his day job.
He slaps one into center, and that's a hit. Here comes Valbuena. Burns his throw to the plate. Late, and the Astros do get that extra run. It's now 7-4.
And that's exactly what Jim Leyland liked about him, that he could do that. And looked like Gomez might have been bunting for a base hit, but either way, he got the runner to second base. And then Danny Wirth with a fastball just stayed inside and shot for center field. Billy Burns no chance, trying to hit the cutoff man, which he did, but really with speed of Valbuena and getting great jump on contact, no chance to throw him out.
So 10 hits in the game now for the Astros. There's Marisnick, checks his swing. Marisnick has been hit by a pitch. He has singled and he has hit a fly ball to left field. He's also scored a run. Slider, Marisnick out in front a little bit. There he is, Bobby Dynamite. No home runs for the Astros last night, but Correa won tonight, so Bobby Dynamite had to go to work.
I didn't even watch him.
Is he strapped in up there? Is he just standing there? Like, I'm not good with heights. I know you're not either.
Ooh. Strapped in.
He's not strapped in.
He's not. He's just kind of hanging out so everybody can see him. You're up there. You can do anything you want.
He's not.
No, he's not.
Big oranges too. Two and one the count to Marisnick. Simeon charges. He's going to have to go to first. Got it. Thing we've learned about Marisnick, he's a good sized guy, but he is fast.
Well, he jumped to the bag, and Marcus Simeon looked to second, no chance there, and at the same time made a strong throw. And with the jumping of the last step by Marisnick on Thursday night, I'll make it Wednesday night, in the final game of the series that the Astros had, and he put on the catcher's gear in the 8th inning. Everybody thought he was going to go in. He was just playing
messing
the game.
around, a little bored.
Took Castro out for a pinch runner, and Gaddis went in to catch the last inning. Gave up the DH, but Gaddis said to Marisnick, said, "You were kidding, weren't you?" He says, "Absolutely." He said, "I don't want to go back there."
No. Harris on the right, Feldman on the left.
Well, that's one more run. It's a 3-run game now, and if A.J. Hinch could save Harris, but theory here, if the closer is loose, whether it's a 3 or 4-run lead, why not bring him in? So we'll see. Because right now it's a 3-run lead, and Haynes would like to keep it there.
Castro is 1 for 3, a single and a couple of strikeouts with a run scored. The Mariners hung on to beat the Royals 3-2 in Kansas City. Iwakuma got his 9th win. Cishek got the save. He gave up a home run in the bottom of the 9th to make it 3-2. So the Mariners break their 4-game losing streak. Iwakuma again having a good year, 9-6 now. Seattle gets back over the 500 mark. Rangers scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th. They now lead the Twins 6-5 in the 8th. Astros trailing the Rangers by 6.5 in the AL West. Not close. So 3-2. There's the AL West, and that's updated again with the Mariners winning and the Angels winning.
He's looking for a Chris Young comeback, as he did
That's
years
right.
ago. After all, it's a hometown flavor tonight with Daniel Mingden.
And missed inside.
Really not surprised the 3-2 slider. You got the right-hander coming up, and while Springer is dangerous, you had the left-hander with first base open. Might as well at least take a chance. So see how the slider works to Springer.
Springer's night. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. First pitch is a fastball down and away. So Triggs, 46 pitches in an inning and 2/3. And by the looks of the A's bullpen, it's his game.
It's his game. A good guy to be in there too, because he's got. Matter of fact, it was here he threw the 76 in relief of Jesse Hahn.
Fastball again outside. So Triggs is going to have to come in. He stayed with the slider, and he got the aggressive Springer to swing and miss.
He overthrew the first two fastballs and then slider with 2-0. Springer, a patient hitter, the first two, but not on the 2-0 slider.
Double look by Triggs. That time a fastball and a good one. Good sink to it.
Guessed
the outside corner.
Springer guessed wrong. There you go slider, you go fastball. Got good two-seam action. Ball coming back the outside part of the plate. You go slider also. There it is. Might as well do it again.
So pitch number 51 coming up. Runners will be taken off. And a fastball. Springer wasn't looking for it. And that's the strikeout. A run for the Astros. So ninth inning coming up. Last shot for the A's. Astros lead 7-4.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So 7-4 Astros lead. Astros trying to even up this series at a game apiece. So if the A's are going to come back, they will have to do it against an all-star. His name is Will Harris, and look at his numbers. 0.72 ERA, 27 hits in 37 innings and 38 strikeouts. Last year, a very good season. 68 games out of the bullpen. And this year, he's the closer. He was claimed off waivers from the Arizona Diamondbacks after the 2014 season. Will Harris. So 1-1 the count. It'll be Butler, Alonso, and Simeon, and hopefully more for the A's. They have a lot of work to do, trailing by 3.
He's just kind of straightforward fastball, cutter, curveball, and that's it. Throws hard. And that's it. Kendall Graveman tomorrow to make his final start before the break.
Billy Butler tried to hold up, couldn't do it. I think he was half trying to get out of the way, and the bat just kind of came through the strike zone.
I think more than half. I think probably 100%. But that's one of the problems with the hitter who goes forward versus turning his back away, and it's just the opposite. Momentum carried him too far.
Curveball hit down the right field line. Springer hustling over, and it is foul. Interesting note on Will Harris. How close was this? Into the seats, actually. Will Harris has allowed 27 hits this year. All singles.
Wow.
He has not allowed an extra base hit this year.
That's why that one went foul.
That's exactly right. So the count remains 1-2 on the foul ball from Butler.
Well, it had to be a tough decision for the Astros to make the change, but they did it. And you just perfectly explained. Well, Harris has done a tremendous job. For a manager to take a proven closer out of the role and put another closer in, you have to tell Luke Gregerson. But it's worked well for the Astros.
So a close pitch, but it looked like it was a bit inside. So 2-2. Butler trying to get aboard. A little hot. 93 miles an hour with a little cutting action to it.
So I tell you what, give him 3 singles to keep his singles intact and a salami.
Salami?
Yeah.
Break it up.
So give him 30 singles with a grand slam. Billy Butler would be the first to start it. Gonna get a fastball, you'd think, inside half the plate.
And that one is ripped into the left field corner. So Marisnick plays it off the wall, and Billy Butler has a leadoff double.
There's your extra base hit, Cat.
There you go. Well, I was trying to jinx him, and it worked.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Well, the nice thing, have a 3-run lead, and you can, as a hitter, you can look fastball on 3-2, which Billy did. 13th double, and he did throw the fastball. He elevated it, and Billy on top of it, down the left field line. And the good news, the ball popped up, so Marisnick just conceded the double for the speedy Billy Butler. Once this ball hit and pop up, and just enough to slow it down for Billy to get into second.
So that'll bring up Yonder Alonso, who's 1 for 3. Alonso takes a strike. Alonso 2 for 4 last night. 1 for 3 tonight. 3 for 7 in the series. Shift is on for Alonso. To pull on the infield to hit the ball toward left center in the outfield.
Here's a little cut fastball. This is hard, though. That's hard on the inner half of the plate. Alonso would have taken a broken bat base hit on that one.
Yep.
It's about all he would have gotten if he had made contact. Probably Mariano Rivera probably so many more bats than anybody with his cutter in on the hands of the left-handers.
Pitch in the dirt. Castro, he somehow blocked it. He probably's not sure how he blocked it, but he did.
And he says that makes up for the pass ball, so we're even. This curveball biting out in front, and really he just used his whole body. He just went down with the intention of blocking the ball, which he did a great job. He's got his name on his chest protected. See, that's new. Castro.
One-two pitch is a bit outside with a breaking ball. According to the newspapers, Harris was not available last night. He had thrown in 3 straight games.
I don't think Gregerson was either. He had pitched in Wednesday night's game. Almost, he actually got the save, but almost gave it up to Seattle.
Alonso chased the ball but fouls it back.
As the old saying goes, try to get as many pitches out of the closer as you can. Maybe won't be available the next day. Of course, he does have 4 days, depending on how they use him on Tuesday, if they do. We saw the National American League has about 6 closers on the roster, not relievers.
Two pitch inside, and now full count. A good at bat by Yonder Alonso. Well, Harris, long look in, now he's ready. And that one is belted to right field down the line. Springer hustling over, and that baby is gone. Drops into the first row, and it's 7-6.
He did it 2 batters too soon. That's all right. That's a closer, and for Alonso taking advantage of the fastball. And Brent Strom a little bit nervous on the bench, standing next to his manager and out to visit with his pitcher after Alonso. Really a pitch out of the strike zone. Could have been a walk, but instead, like with Butler, 3-2, he goes for the fastball. He looks for it, he hits it, gets on top, and you know that's the difference of a hitter having the count and a score in the game to where he can do what Alonso just did. So 2 hits in Alonso's last 2 at bats, and on top of the numbers already he's put up against the Astros.
A double and a couple of RBIs last night, and a 2-run homer tonight.
Well, start all over, try to get guys on base. So he gives up his first extra base hit, then his second one in the next batter.
First pitch to Simeon, and swings and misses.
How big was the run driven in by Worth?
Yeah, you just that old insurance run.
You get a break with the pass ball, run the scores with Giles striking out the 2 batters, and then they get another one and makes it a 3-run game versus 2.
And now it's 0-2. Simeon.
The Astros have somebody else in the bullpen, so do the A's.
That's Smolinski to hit for Burns.
There's a Dull.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So on 3 pitches, Simeon strikes out.
Well, he stayed outside and did not want to take a chance to Crawford boxes, and Marcus started, held up, and I think called on the pitch.
So Bob Melvin's going to send Smolinski up. You can certainly see why. You see him dropping into those Crawford boxes.
Right. And even though Giles is throwing mid-90s, they expect him to pull the ball on the ground.
Good swing by Smolinski, but the pitcher's away and fouled it back.
With the 3-run pinch hit home run in San Francisco against the lefty. And that was an exciting game for the A's to come back and win that one.
Trying to do it again. High and foul down the right field line. So the count 0-2. It's Michael Feliz warming up.
He just throws 98.
So Harris, before this outing, had given up a total of 3 earned runs this year. And he's given up 2 earned runs tonight here in the ninth. On deck is Jed Lowry. Here's Madsen. Madsen getting ready in case the A's were to take the lead. A breaking ball blocked by Jason Castro.
Well, he's done a good job blocking the curveball from Giles. It's a biting curveball, not even close to being in the strike zone. Both that he's blocked have been out in front of home plate. So you figure he missed with a curveball. Would he come back with another one or throw a fastball? And Smolinski, just be ready, especially for the heater.
Two pitch. Reach for, poke foul. Say this about Jake Smolinski. He almost always gives you a pretty good at bat. That one into left field, and that's a base hit, and that's the tying run.
Ladendorf's got a pinch hit for our pinch run after we take a look at Jed Lowry's home run against Luke Gregerson. This with 2 outs, a curveball. Talk about just barely making it. It did. His first home run of this season, Jed Lowry, and he did it against his former team to tie the game on the Saturday afternoon that eventually the A's did lose. So Ladendorf, great speed at first. Pitch running for Smolinski is Jed Lowry. Find a gapper and see the man run.
So Ladendorf grabs a good lead. Shift is on for Lowry. Correa playing behind second base. Outfield pretty deep. First pitch is a bit inside. Situation like this, you're going to ask your outfielders to play a couple steps deeper. You do not want the ball to get into the gap.
You know, the last time the A's were here, Jed Lowry hit one towards right center of the bullpen where Springer is right now. You don't think he would get to it, especially if it's more of a line drive, which is what the A's would like to see to the gap and score Ladendorf.
And that one down the left field line, and that's going to be a fair ball. Here comes Ladendorf, and they're going to hold him up as getting it out of the corner quickly was Marisnick. And now it's second and third with one out. And A.J. Hinch pops up out of the dugout.
And that's going to the bullpen because that's a second visit. Brent Strom has already come out, so he's going to go to the hard-throwing Phillies. Oh. Jed Lowry just poked it to left field. They've been shifting him, and Jed Lowry, I tell you, great play by Marisnick because Ladendorf was running to score, and Marisnick knew that as the ball checked up into the outfield. Ladendorf had it in front of him, going all the way, running hard. Ron Washington had to stop him right there, and is able to dive back in safely.
Yeah, if there's any type of bobble at all, Ladendorf's going to score. So a big hit for Lowry, and turned out to be a big play in left field by Marisnick. So second and third, still only one out. So Michael Feliz comes in.
Well, it's ball down on the corner, and it did check up a little bit, but Marisnick quickly to it and popped up to him. And as a result, that was a smart play by Ron Washington. You come down the line and see that Marisnick got it back in. Strong arm of Correa, shortstop, who got the ball. And now for Chris Davis. So the A's second and third, one out. Ron Washington look at the dugout to see what they're going to do with Ladendorf. Contact by Chris Davis. Feliz, he had an appearance in the game on that Saturday, the inning at 2/3, a hit. And so tough outing for the right-hander, shaking his head.
And he has not had very many of those. In fact, this has to be his worst outing.
Yes.
To get 4 hits and 2 runs so far.
And really, it's a recognition of a manager that if your closer doesn't have it, you don't leave him in there. And there are a lot of pitchers, closers to be upset.
Good list to be on there.
That's the reason he's brought in.
Very hard.
Now Correa and the second baseman, Worth. I mean, now Worth is coming in and Correa's coming in. I just wondered why they were both going back to their normal positions with the tying run at third. So Feliz basically mid-90s, upper 90s, slider.
First pitch, a slider, that's outside. Davis is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He has to put the ball in play here.
Now the outfield a normal position, unlike before, playing no doubles. Now they're playing normal.
And that one is hit left center and deep. And it is off the wall, and the A's are going to take the lead. 2 runs are going to score. Davis comes through, and it is 8-7 A's lead. Still only 1 out.
And for Chris Davis, got a happy face fan. For Chris Davis, who has been bothered by a left shoulder, his swings, but the first pitch slider mistimed, and as a result, here comes the fastball. And watch the swing by Chris Davis on the heater, right down the middle, and maybe towards the end of the bat a little bit, but enough to drive in 2. It's not a 3-run home run, close, but instead driving in 2 easily. And the bench loving every minute of it to score 4 runs so far in the 9th inning, down by 3.
So 4 runs on 5 hits. And here's Reddick. Reddick goes after a breaking ball. Butler got it started with the double. So 4 runs charged to the all-star closer Will Harris. A third of an inning. And now it's 0-2. Funny you mentioned that first pitch slider, and we talk about how important it is to be able to throw a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. That one is lined right, and that's a hit. Davis trying to score. Throw is cut off. He will score. Athletic is going to be out at second base.
That's great. I tell you, Springer's got a very strong arm. That is not a bad thing to do. And, you know, at this case, you almost need to let the ball go through. He did not at first base. That is, but this is a 2-strike RBI hit for Josh Reddick. And he was going to second in the event the ball was thrown to the plate. Springer, a very strong arm, cut off. And probably would not have thrown out Davis, but you don't want to take a chance, and that is a huge run to get a 2-run lead.
So it's a 5-run 9th inning for the A's. And Valencia gets spun back out of the way.
That's 3 2-strike hits in this game. Yeah. Butler, Smolinski, and now Reddick. And Ryan Matson by himself. Doe. If it was a tie, Matson now with a 2-run lead. Last night he was perfect in the 9th. Last night he threw 6 pitches.
So 2-0 the count. Michael Feliz looks a little frustrated.
Yeah, so frustrated. The first pitch up and in to Danny Valencia after.
Yeah, I'd be on my toes if I was the inning.
Yeah, exactly.
First strike. 2-1 the count. Double homer, strikeout, single, double, double, single. That's how this inning has gone. First 37 games this season.
Wow.
3 earned runs. Tonight, 4 earned runs allowed in a third of an inning. And the A's are doing this against a pretty good bullpen.
Smolinski, a pinch hit, base hit. He might be the pinch hit master for the A's.
Yeah, you get the 2-run homer to make it 7-6, but you have to restart your rally.
Exactly.
And Smolinski did that with 1 out. Valencia up and in. No swing.
That's a courtesy no swing there. Because Valencia with a hard fastball up and in, and again his momentum like Butler took him through the strike zone. But he did hold up as you look at that with the bat staying on his shoulder, and Kerwin Danley gives him another swing or another pitch.
So 3-2. And a slider, and Valencia swings and misses, but the A's come up huge. They score 4 times, make it 5 times, and they now have the lead. Chris Davis, a 2-run double. That gave the A's the lead. So bottom of the 9th coming up. It's the A's 9, the Astros 7, and the closer Matson's coming in.
Day on the green with a fireworks show on Saturday, July the 23rd, presented by Lagunitas. The legendary concerts at the Coliseum feature the Rolling Stones, David Bowie. I said Bowie. The Who, U2, Led Zeppelin, and many more. The fireworks show will be set to music from select Day on the Green performers. Fans can watch the show from the outfield grass. As always, on-field capacity is limited. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets. We're in Bowie country here. This is Texas.
Sure.
Right? This is Bowie. Not Bowie, but Andrew Triggs is happy. So is Daniel Mingden. Mingden off the hook. Ryan Matson trying to close the deal like he did last night. And this would be a tremendous comeback. And Kite, we remember Chris Young. How about Chris Davis? A couple of Chris's big in the ninth inning, and Ryan Matson trying to make it bigger.
Going to be Marwin Gonzalez to lead it off. Gonzalez, Altuve, Correa are the first three hitters. And it's bunted. Matson gets to it, and he flips to first. And the big fella Ryan Matson, he's very tall. He's moving. He's got to bend down and pick it up. And if it gets by him, it's a base hit. So that's a nice play.
That is a great play, man. PFPs and Ryan Matson getting a couple of guys to give him a breather, but not a bad play by Gonzalez, and even better play, though, by Matson. A little flip to get the leadoff hitter. That's a great play. One pitch, one out, and especially with these guys coming up behind him. So Tyler Ladendorf, center field, is, you know, thinking, and let's just hope it works out, because for Bob Melvin to pinch hit Smolinski, a right-hander, and you had Billy Burns, the switch hitter, batting left-handed. Billy Burns with great speed.
And that one is going to fall for a hit. You see Ladendorf picking it up. He's now in center field.
And the always aggressive Altuve. But good moves by the A's, trying to hang on with a 2-run lead. And Altuve, not surprising, jumping on the first pitch, guessing correctly, because with Ryan Matson, you have fastball changeups.
So here's Correa with Valbuena, the on-deck hitter. After Valbuena, Carlos Gomez. Correa's had a big night. He's 2 for 4 with a homer, an RBI single. He's got 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. First pitch is a bit high. Correa now 14 home runs and 55 RBIs. Hit foul.
Think about the extra run the A's were able to score. Makes it easier to, if Altuve wants to run, he could do it. And granted, put a runner in score position, but with leading by 1 run. And Matson talked about tonight how the big run in the 9th inning last night with Reddick hustling and the A's scoring the extra run made it a 3-1 game. Another 2-run lead tonight. Closers love the added insurance.
Altuve runs, swing and a miss, and they'll let Altuve steal it. A stolen base and a swinging strike, so 1-2 the count.
A's are looking for outs now. They were not going to throw out Altuve, and of course the thing that this does is keep the Twins from a possible double play. Be a different story if Correa were to reach, but right now he's the man that Matson is trying to get out, get the second out.
Two pitch is down and away. $14 hits for the A's, 11 hits for the Astros. He's got 6 hits in that top of the 9th inning. Altuve not being held at second. And it's low, and now a full count. Valbuena is a left-handed hitter.
He had a big 2-run home run on Wednesday night against the Mariners. And he does hit home runs, but he also makes a lot of big outs. It's the big hitter, though, trying to keep Correa off the bases.
Payoff pitch coming up. And he chased it, but it's going to get past Vogt, and he's going to be aboard. That hurts. A sharp breaking ball from Madsen, and Correa chased it.
Boy, there's absolutely nothing you can do. That ball biting so hard out in front. And Stephen Vogt just tried any way he could. There was absolutely no chance. And almost as soon as he swung, Correa could see the ball got past Vogt, and he easily could make it to first base. So the A's will play for double play. So they're going to strike out as a wild pitch.
So first and third, one out for Luis Valbuena, who is 2 for 4. 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He's also struck out twice. First pitch is hit deep to right. This is not good, folks. Nope. So Luis Valbuena, it looked like something off speed that was up, and he just put a. Did that go into the second level? I believe it did.
It didn't matter. It was going over the fence. It didn't matter. He did it Wednesday, a 2-run shot off speed. You're right, and I think Ryan Madsen had a pretty good idea. Valbuena knew it was gone. I think everybody knew it was gone, and it was gone without any problem. So Ryan Madsen gets a strikeout. And a rare wild pitch on a strikeout, which would have made it a 2-out game. And Valbuena over the shift, over everybody.
So the A's score 5 in the top of the 9th to take a 2-run lead. And Luis Valbuena hits a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th. Unbelievable. So a bitter defeat tonight for the Athletics. The game took 3 hours and 29 minutes in front of 31,438 now delirious Astros fans. Final score tonight from Minute Maid Park. It's the Astros 10 and the Athletics 9. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California. It's all part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Post Game Live with Brody and Shooty starts right now.